Welcome to Sports and Stogies. Now, introducing your hosts, Cameron Winkowitz and Austin Hayes.
I can just resume the story real fast.
Sometimes it's fake, sometimes it's natural.
You guys are good.
But yeah, go-to conspiracy, especially when you're, under the influence.
Which is?
I think Courtney Love definitely killed Kurt Cobain.
Ooh.
Without a doubt.
My dad has been telling me that my whole life. I swear
He might have been there.
He might have done it.
He might have been the shooter. Yeah.
But I was always like, who cares? And he was like, no, she did it. And I was like...
Look, his suicide note was in 2 different handwritings.
Yeah, that's a...
Come on.
And look, just because she wrote part of the note doesn't mean she did it, though.
I think she did.
Why would you write someone's suicide note for
To make it look like you didn't do it.
Dude, maybe he asked her to.
That's a conspiracy.
Did OJ do it?
Dude, if the glove don't fit, you must quit.
It didn't.
Best acting job of all time.
I read.
Is O.J. Simpson trying to put that glove on.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
I want to talk about carpal tunnel. We got carpal tunnel real quick.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
just bought gloves that were too small.
Yeah. No, these were the ones. I saw a conspiracy, high as hell. I saw it. It was something about his son did it, and he kind of took the whole fall for it and got off of it.
Kind of a new theory.
I guess he lost a kid, and
young daughter.
I didn't know that, and he swore that he would never let anything happen to any of his
Have you seen
kids.
the OJ 30 for 30?
No.
It's like it's on Netflix now. It's like 10 hours. It's like a 5-part thing.
Yeah. There's a...
Phenomenal. Honestly, the best thing I've ever watched.
There's an OJ documentary on Max, too. I think it's something... I think it's more like about... I think it's called like America's Couple or something. I think it's about him and his relationship with his wife.
It's kind of a high bar. They're never really America's couple.
I'm just...
Do you ever go to conspiracy?
All of them. I'm literally just...
For sure.
All of them. And I don't stop. I'll keep going.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Who built the
Ain't never gonna
pyramids?
stop.
Who built the pyramids?
No way
Cam?
the Egyptians did, right?
No, man.
With their bare hands? Come on.
Now, I'm a big Graham Hancock guy, so if we get into that, we got to get into the...
It could be a whole separate show.
No.
Yeah.
S&S conspiracy.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Well, in the meantime, go ahead and pull up that chair.
Pour up that drink.
And light that cigar.
Because it's time for episode 82 of Sports and Stogies. And once again, me and Cam are not alone tonight. Baylen Savage, the one and only. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Baylen. What do you want me to say?
Postmaster Supreme.
Huh?
Postmaster General.
Oh,
What
just
is it?
Postmaster Carrier. I just carry the
For now.
mailman. Yeah, they call me the mailman in the streets.
Karl Malone-esque.
Yeah, I'm better than Carmelo.
Just like him. That's his hero.
In many ways.
Everything, on and off the court. Yeah.
Especially off the court.
Yes,
OG listener.
for sure.
Every episode, OG supporter.
Even the rough ones, the early ones where we're getting the mics down and stuff, half of it's out. I still listen to it.
Yeah, we had a long start, but here we are, a year and a half later.
Yeah,
And now you're on the show.
unbelievable.
How does it sound being, like, in your own ears, on the mic?
I heard the other episodes and everyone else talk about it. It is weird at first, but you get used to it pretty fast.
Immediately, right?
Yeah.
Cam's gonna get our promo out of the way here, as usual, which I did cover last week, but back to the OG.
All right. Well, you guys know where to follow us and where to listen, but I'll let you know again. Follow us on social media at Sports and Stogies on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, if that just transfers over nicely, which it probably won't, so I'll probably have to go mess with the RSS feed. But YouTube and Amazon Prime.
And then, Baylen, give us the ad read for our man.
Our man, Evan Keaton, ACE certified personal trainer. Email allthingsfitness@gmail.com. Cell phone 937-308-6324. Website allthingsfit.org.
Of course, you remember the infamous moment where Shane thought that
That he
there were
posted half-naked
fitness
workout videos. Yeah.
He is running a fitness class right now as we're recording this. How does that make us feel?
like a lazy piece of shit.
Like, I need to call him. That's how I feel.
We've been saying that for months.
Yeah.
Of course, classes in low, medium, and high intensity. We'll bring the gym to you, come with you to your gym, bring the equipment, helps out with nutrition advice.
I wonder if he's had anybody do all three classes, because he runs them all in succession.
We'd think, like back to back to back?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's maybe a challenge for us.
You just hit the low, medium, high all one night.
Man, I think the low by itself would probably put me on my ass right now.
No, for
Not
sure.
in great shape.
For sure.
And to do a medium and high after that, yeah, I have no chance.
Do you know
I
how
mean,
long
I think
each
they're
one
like
is?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? So an hour and a half
So you're talking
workout?
an hour and a half.
That's no joke, dude.
No.
And it's probably nonstop,
And
I
it's
would
getting,
imagine.
it's
Maybe
getting
like
harder.
Yeah,
maybe a 5-minute break throughout the class.
a little bit of water.
A little
catch
bit
your
of
breath.
water.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
That'd be a tough. That's like the 9 dogs, 9 beers.
If you heard the new challenge,
The 18 holes, 18 beers,
well, that's
18
also,
dogs.
but no, it's 9 beers, 9 zins,
That one seems
9
to.
innings.
My question about that is, are all 9 in? You can't take them
No, I
out?
think it's 1 an inning.
Yeah, I think it's 1
You
per
could
inning.
probably double up, but oh man, if you got the 3 milligrams, it probably would be pretty easy.
This guy was doing
That's true.
6s.
6 milligrams is crazy.
You know, they
No,
make,
I've not done those, but I smoke cigars. I'll do 3 back to back. The
They're-
nicotine high is probably pretty close, right?
You get a head rush for sure,
I think it's different. It's like different
but it's
rushes.
it's like a. Oh, I'm zoned in.
And you absorb it way quicker.
Yeah,
of
I'm
course.
zenned in right now.
Yeah, it's right on your
You
gums.
just focus up. Like it's real. I take them at work.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
you did zins, actually.
Yeah, dude, I zen up at work.
You're getting zoned.
Yeah,
Getting zinny with
and
it.
it really does. It really helps me focus for real.
It
No
does.
kidding.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
it really does.
I've noticed a difference. I'll play video games with them in.
You said it perfect. It locks you in.
Yeah, you're locked in, dude.
It's like Adderall.
I seen on Facebook.
Kind of, but nicotine.
I seen on Facebook the 15 milligrams. I couldn't even imagine one of those.
They make those.
Who needs
Mm-hmm.
15s?
I don't know.
I don't think they sell them at gas
No,
stations.
they're probably
then.
overseas. No, they're probably overseas.
definitely
It was a Facebook
Pakistani,
post. Yeah.
creation.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say 3 and 6 at the local speedway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at like a wet market in China.
Yeah.
You're getting COVID at 15 milligrams in.
It's coming from Russia.
Well, we are all 3 smoking tonight. Baylen, not much of a smoker, of course.
No, it's probably less than 5 cigars in my life. So
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cam, tell us what you have.
I have the Aganorsa leaf Tabsa
Which you, of course, got.
from Greg. He at the event on Saturday, which I will cover after we're done introducing our smokes. I'd got the Blackbird cigars that came with the ticket, obviously. Smoked one of those there. I think it was called the Ruffed Kraus.
Checks out, yeah. Grouse, I think.
Grouse?
Yeah, rough grouse.
Sure.
If I know
Very
my,
good.
If I know my birds at all.
Very good cigar. Obviously, we know the Crow's an amazing cigar. We've had that plenty of times. But he had said to make sure I get one of these too. So far, so good. Kind of peppery in the front here, but getting a lot of exactly what I like and desserty cigar here. So
Anything there in the back of the throat?
not yet, but it'll get there. It'll make its way to the back of the
It'll
throat.
meander on back there. I've got one of 4 sticks from this month's Tip Top Cigar of the Month Club. The Rocky Patel Hamlet Tabacero. It's a 5x50 with a San Andres wrapper, of course, my favorite, and then Brazilian and Mexican binders and all Nicaraguan fillers. So far, excellent burn. Nice and even. Great draw. Very smooth. Flavor-wise, definitely a little bit darker, which is right up my alley. Kind of leather, of course, tobacco heavy. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of cream. Nothing really overpowering. It's very well balanced. And Baylen, what are you smoking on tonight?
I'm smoking on a Prince Hall by Blanco. That's what this card says. A medium body cigar with a complex note of oak, leather, caramel with a pleasant floral aroma, culminating in a slightly sweet textured smoke with a clean, smooth finish. That's exactly what I was thinking about this cigar as I was
That's
smoking.
of course not a connoisseur like we are. Can you pull any notes out from that flavor wise? Does it just taste like tobacco?
I'm getting a lot of smoke, a lot of tobacco, but I kind of see what you mean by the peppery flavor. I don't know if this one's supposed to be like that. I'm getting pepper.
A lot of them have peppery flavors.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm still early on, so we'll see how it goes.
And then we have a beverage provided by, I think, Greg as well, right?
Yeah, so this is, I have no information on this other than Greg Googling what are great brands for Dominican rum, and this being the number one that he was able to compile over a list. But Barcelo Imperial by Ron Dominicano. It's in Dominican rum aged in oak barrels, which is fun.
80 proof, I believe.
Yes.
Pretty light, definitely the classic rum sugar cane. Very sweet, easy on the palate, smooth sipper. I'm not a huge rum guy myself, besides like mixing Captain and Coke when I was like 21. This is solid, easy.
Jack and Coke, rum and Coke, it's all the same thing.
Classic cigar pairing to counteract, especially the darker flavors. Again, very, very smooth, sweet, welcoming. If you don't drink at all, this would be a good way to kind of get started off here.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now, tell us about the event with Blackbird at Tip Top on Saturday, which I did end up sleeping through.
I knew you would.
I woke up at 12:30. I was like, 10 more minutes wouldn't hurt, right?
Did you just not reset an alarm or anything?
It always hurts.
Dude, I said like 5. But I'm a heavy sleeper.
Slept through all of them.
And I woke up at like 4:30. And I was like, well, shit.
I was still there. I didn't leave till like 5:15.
You were there cleaning up, right? Helping out there?
I did.
Where was that?
At Tip Top.
In Huber?
Nope.
No, that's
Springfield.
Stogie's, which is also a great shop.
Stogie's is in Huber, Tip Top in Springfield.
Tip Top right here.
Okay.
But no, great event, honestly. Jonas is awesome. He was out in the crowd talking. He spoke a couple times. At the end, when they were doing the raffles, he threw in another 5-pack that wasn't originally planned.
I think he stole my wardrobe also.
Denim.
Black jeans and denim jacket.
Yeah, with nice, beautiful Nikes on. But yeah, he's a really cool guy. He was smiling and laughing and he was just a dude. He was very approachable, which I feel like a lot of times, like even Bobby Newman, like you're dressed up, you're nice, you're classy, you kind of intimidating.
There's an aura of intimidation.
It's not
respect.
intentional, but like Jonas was just like, I just roll cigars, man. I just like them.
A dude.
But yeah, he was just a bro. Really?
A clubhouse guy, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when we were going to name our podcast the Clubhouse Guys?
Dude, so we went through...
That's pretty... I kind of like that one.
I did, but the first name we had was Sports and Stogies. And we're like, we're kind of bland.
We used that as the umbrella. We're like, okay, what has Sports and Stogies in it?
And then we ran through 30 terrible names.
So many terrible
Give me a bad one.
Clubhouse Guys was the best one.
I really like that one.
I was pushing Clubhouse Guys.
But the reason why we didn't is because it doesn't have cigars in it.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds
like
baseball.
We needed cigars in the name.
It definitely is.
It kind of sounds baseball.
If we're doing if we ever offshoot to just a baseball show, Clubhouse Guys is locked in.
Yeah.
Which you could probably co-host, of course.
I know a little baseball. Not too recently, but
just the good old days.
I'm trying to think what else we ran through.
So many,
I tried to delete them off my memory because they were not good. They were like, all right, I guess we'll just...
There was some we were swinging where it was like something in sticks. Like
Dicks and Sticks was one.
Dicks and Sticks.
Which also, honestly, pretty funny.
It is funny. But...
Just two dicks here smoking cigars.
And then actually, my original podcast idea was with Shane. Me and Shane were going to start a sports podcast.
Also a terrible name, I think.
The Butt Ball Podcast.
Man, what?
Would you listen to the Butt Ball podcast?
Yeah, I'd grab my husband and we'd listen to that podcast. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy that never took off.
Creativity is not in our market.
Man,
No, that's our worst.
As we've
worst
explained
strong suit.
numerous times.
That and social media.
Also true.
Two things we're just not good at.
Hey, big fan of the show. You guys do suck at the sport or the social media.
The promotional aspect.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
But yeah, you got one of our hats on.
I tried to promote it.
You do your best.
Yeah.
Probably better than we do.
All that ring camera footage that you delivering mail with the Sports and Stogies hat on. Dude?
I have worn it a couple of times at work, and they'd be like, "What's that?" And I'd be like, "You got to listen to this podcast. It's fucking awesome."
God, they probably don't.
And they were probably like, "Keep your white ass walking." Dude. That's probably what they were thinking. I ain't listening to that stupid ass shit.
Yeah, actually, I was just asking to be nice. I didn't expect a response.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't give a fuck about your hat.
Let's see. No fan questions tonight, but it is Underrated Tuesday. I have one current NBA player and one past MLB player.
I have a current NBA player and a current NFL player.
And, of course, Baylen came prepared. When I told him, hey, it's Underrated Tuesday, he's like, I heard he got it. I'm down.
I knew what day it was. But my first underrated, you kind of touched on it. I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago. Pau Gasol is so underrated. And
literally because Kobe was his teammate.
That's it. Is two-time champ, 6-time NBA All-Star. He's Rookie of the Year. Don't need Kobe for that. 2-time Olympic silver medalist.
What year was that?
2002. He was rookie of the year.
Pretty good rookie class.
When did he get with Kobe? Was that
I want to say it's probably
7?
like 07, yeah, 08.
8?
Yeah, I think so.
It was 8 because that's when the Celtics played them, and Pau Gasol was on that team. And then next year, 9-10, they went back to back. So I had him as my first underrated.
I think the highest scoring Spanish player of all time. One of the highest scoring Europeans
And I
of all time.
believe he has the all-time record for three-point percentage in Spain.
That is also correct, which I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
And do we do 1-1-1 or
We'll go 1-1-1 here.
Okay.
Cam, what you got?
I'm going to pull up the 02 NBA draft class first. Oh, Yao Ming, Amari Stoudemire, Karan Butler, Jay Williams. I mean, he beat out
heavy
some
hitters.
Yeah, Nene, Carlos Boozer.
That was 02?
Holy
Yeah.
shit! All the same draft.
That next year, 03, was the LeBron Wade. Wow.
God, what a great 2 years.
Tayshaun Prince, Matt Barnes, Udonis Haslam. I mean,
Wow.
That's an incredible draft.
and Mike Dunleavy too. Kind of underrated.
Sneaky.
but-
Very underrated. That could be one of the underrated.
My NFL players, Jared Goff. I'm getting sick and tired of acting like this guy's not a borderline top 5 quarterback in the league.
It used to be it's Sean McVay. Only reason for his success.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that no, he's not the most mobile, but his playmaking abilities with his arm is next to none.
Really showed that last year, too.
I mean, the reason why they lost was their defense.
Yep.
And I mean, if you need a ball put somewhere, he's going to put it there, no matter what. Guy's a beast. I'm getting sick and tired of not talking about it.
He was just the fall guy in L.A. I mean, who else are they going to blame? You got to blame Goff.
And he took him to the Super Bowl.
I mean, who else are you going to blame when you only scored 3 points in the Super Bowl? You're going to blame Goff, but that's a whole offense. It's not just him. I don't think he had an interception that game. Maybe one against the New England.
Either way, you're playing. I think at the time the best defense in the league.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I believe that
coached
was
defense.
Stephon Gilmore's
coached that Bill.
Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah, that was.
So you're playing the best corner in the league, too.
And to go to Detroit with no expectations, supposed to be a bad team, and you completely turn things around
And
like
I
that.
think that year in New England's defense was like a top 50 fantasy football score, overall positions.
I believe it wholeheartedly.
And I believe they were top 10 for like the first 6 weeks.
I think that playoffs, they averaged teams to like something ridiculous, like 12 points a game in that playoff.
I mean, even the Rams were the highest scoring offense all year.
Only got a field goal in
And
that
then
Super
put up
Bowl.
a field goal.
Yeah.
And well, honestly, it was a terrible game, but
The worst Super Bowl of my life.
that I can recall.
Yes.
My first underrated is Miles Turner. Dude never gets mentioned, gets no love. The past 2 years in Indy, putting up 18 points a game, 8 rebounds.
I
and was
believe
a
he's
two-time block champion.
Yeah, led in blocks twice. Blocks per game also, I believe.
Very efficient, excellent shooter from the outside. Just put up 29 against the Bucks. So solid two-way player, but again, you never hear him mentioned. Of course, he's not on the level of Jokic and Embiid.
He
as some
doesn't
of the
do
best centers.
anything that, I mean, it's cut and dry. Like, he's not bringing the ball up the court and making fancy passes. He's not dribbling guys off of a three and pulling up and fading away. Honestly, skill-wise, he's very similar to Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid didn't handle the ball as much.
Played more traditional.
Yeah.
Great in the post, and an excellent spot-up shooter, and great defender. But definitely under the radar. Baylen, you're number 2.
My number 2 is another former NBA player. That's Clyde Drexler. I think he was just born at the wrong time. He was just
Clyde.
born during that Jordan era, and he was just a poor man's Jordan. That's all it was.
I think actually he was one of my underrateds last month.
I don't know if you've
Shit,
ever.
was it?
I don't remember you bringing up Clyde Drexler.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Maybe you would pitch the idea, but I don't think you actually said it on show.
Well,
But yeah,
I agree with you.
Criminally underrated.
Dude, ridiculous.
Yeah, anybody. I mean, he was, like I said, poor man's Jordan.
Unless you're a Portland fan,
The only measure. Yeah.
because just recently did they start to say that Dame is potentially the best trailblazer of all time over the Glide.
Which is at least a conversation, but I think people
Little
are,
bit.
because he's underrated, looking over Glide.
Yeah, and it's Damian Lillard. You know, he's playing right now, so people are always going to give the guy playing right now the nod. People back in the 80s, they're going to get disrespected. So, I think he's criminally underrated.
Criminally.
Yes.
I got
Lord.
Anthony Edwards.
We're going to talk about him eventually later, but good
And
Lord.
he is just now getting the hype he's deserved for like the last, 3 years?
Talk about Jordan.
Like, he got a lot
his
of hype
son.
his rookie year because of all the athletic plays and dunking on everybody. But, like, he is who Ja Morant thinks he is.
Minus the off-the-court antics,
Well, of course. But, like, he is the closest thing to that 90s basketball that everybody loves, where he's just running his mouth the entire game and backing it up. Like Larry Bird-esque, Jordan-esque. It's the same. He's like, oh, well, I'm just going to do this, and it happens. Like when he said that they were going to send KD packing. I believe they're in Cancun.
His idol, no less.
Or actually, what did Chuck say on TNT? They're going to like
Galveston.
That's
Galveston,
what it is, yeah.
Texas.
Dirty
is-
waters,
is where-
Galveston.
is where
Dirty
Phoenix
waters.
is going.
Dirty.
Yeah, Phoenix has to go to Galveston instead of Cancun.
No, Stone Cold Killer definitely has the Mamba Jordan mentality. And skill-wise, maybe the most skilled guy in the entire league. Look at athletically, his shooting ability, his defensive ability. There's nothing the guy can't do.
All around. Now, I don't know if the story's true, but I heard before, I think it was game 4, he went into the Suns locker room and tapped KD, said, hey, buddy, it's going to be a long fucking night. And then he just walked out. I don't know if that's true.
I did hear that.
Probably is.
I'm going to believe it because that's something Jordan would do. That's
I mean,
his son.
when they asked, what are you going to do about Kevin Durant? He's like, we got Jaden McDaniels. Who would say that?
I'll be honest. When he said
Besides
that,
you, probably nobody.
yeah, when he said that, I was like, all right, hype up your teammate. That's nice. No,
I
he
was like,
serious.
finally, dude, somebody else sees it.
Should have gave you a quote on that.
Yeah.
My second, Baylen, how great was Brandon Phillips?
Talk about criminally
I mean,
underrated.
even I know how good Brandon Phillips
Man,
was.
Exactly.
Great
Yeah.
pick.
Look, man, career 275 hitter, 200-plus homers, 2,000-plus hits, 3-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, should have been more.
Way more.
Silver Slugger Award. One of the lone bright spots on a lot of bad Reds teams, and one of the
lot.
forefronts on those playoff teams.
A lot of bad Reds teams.
Hitting behind JV helped out a lot of his career, but probably the best defensive mixtape of all time. You go pull up Brandon Phillips' defensive highlights. You're
He's what Bo Bichette thinks he is.
no, not even Bo thinks he's Brandon Phillips. Probably the best defensive second baseman I've seen in my lifetime, just for sheer the insane difficult plays he made.
You ever seen Kevon Biggio?
Kevin's all right.
Not bad.
Maybe a little different shade. But yeah, but great hitter, great defender, great personality. And again, definitely kept you watching through a lot of long seasons.
Long. But he was also there for the best
Very,
seasons.
And he was.
very
there for the
long
best season.
seasons.
And the 2 great seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, right into NFL talk. Before the draft, Tank Dell got shot.
Yeah, like, what's going on?
Apparently, like I woke up to I think one of the group texts from Ubay when it's like, yeah, by the way, guys, Tank Dell just got shot. Apparently, like at a nightclub, something popped off, not involving Tank, but he took some some secondary fire.
Him and 9 others, yeah. Got shot at a club. You can't even go out and enjoy yourself without getting shot. That's just, that comes with being an NFL player. Ask, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, who's gonna
Well, that
be
was
next?
actually somebody trying to steal his car.
Oh, and he shot him
Yeah.
for trying to get his car back? Well,
Yeah, at least
No.
B-Rob was
Brian
actually
Robinson
involved.
got shot in the leg while somebody was trying to steal his car.
well, what's he doing going after the car, man? He got plenty of money. Let it go.
Hey, he's a
No,
man.
no.
He's a man.
Brian Robinson's car was being stolen.
Correct.
Yes.
He was inside of it.
What the?
Oh shit.
It was like
He was getting
I'm pretty sure it was like
kidnapped?
GT.
They
I'm pretty
kidnapped
sure it
him?
was like GTA style. I'm gonna rip you out of your car and steal your car.
Oh, shit.
Shoot
I
you in the
can't
leg.
think of anywhere else where you'd be able to get shot in the leg.
At any point, do you think that guy was like, holy fuck, that's Brian Robinson?
Probably not.
Just threw him out.
Who knew who Brian Robinson was before he was
Although,
a commander?
in
I thought he was
DC,
drafted already.
Yeah,
Didn't he
in
get
DC,
drafted?
It's possible.
I don't know who it was.
Could
Someone
have been targeted then.
Someone drafted him in our fantasy league, and it was like 3 days later, he got shot.
I
can't
recall that.
remember-
Yeah, I almost think it was Jake.
It's Jake or somebody.
Yeah, my buddy had just traded him in his dynasty league for like Zay Flowers and like crazy draft picks and stuff.
Did your buddy shoot Brian Robinson?
Dude, I don't think so.
Allegedly.
Talk about conspiracies. Yeah, that
Yeah.
could definitely be in there. The Cowboys re-signed Zeke Elliott. I haven't seen terms. I think it's just
RB1.
a 1 year deal.
RB1 moving forward.
Shouldn't be. I love the move overall.
Who else?
As long as he gets 8, 10 touches. Still a great pass blocker.
Well,
Still good hands out of the backfield.
I guess there is still a chance to sign Dalvin Cook.
No, I guess it's going to be Deuce Vaughn.
Can't be Deuce Vaughn.
There's nobody else.
You can't run Deuce Vaughn up the gut.
You can't.
Not according to Mike McCarthy.
What
He will get destroyed.
He will probably die.
How would Deuce Vaughn's dad feel
Pretty
if
bad.
they're running him up the gut?
Pretty bad. So I think there's more moves. We didn't draft a running back, which shocked me at least.
I mean, just one.
But
Like, even if you take him in the 6th round,
You definitely don't bring Zeke in to be the RB1. So hopefully more on the way. But good to see him back in Dallas. One of my favorite players ever.
on and off the court.
Definitely off the field,
Likes to party.
but has never been shot,
Not yet.
to my knowledge.
Shockingly.
And then everybody's favorite player, whether you watch football or not, Travis Kelce extended 2-year deal with the Chiefs.
Retires after that 2 years.
Why not?
What else does he have to prove?
I mean, I would hope his utilization goes down some so he can play the 2 years with the ankle injuries going on this year. He kind of felt like he was kind of scared of it all year.
A little tentative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe drop that. I mean, they drafted Xavier Worthy, who's the
We'll get to that.
fastest guy of all time. So
Yeah, good segue into draft talk. First of all, how do you guys feel about the Brownies and what they did?
also, before we get there, John Ross did sign with the Eagles on the practice squad.
It can't be real.
So he is also very fast.
Yeah,
While we're
the
talking
rec-
about fast guys.
Bum. Overrated.
Looks like your smoke went out there, bud.
So Brownies, of course, without a first-round pick. How do we feel about what they did overall?
I'm happy with it. The only thing I wish we would have done is in round 3, instead of taking Zach Zenter, which I'm cool with that pick too.
Quality pick, yeah.
I wish we would have drafted Maurice Leofau.
Notre
Notre
Dame
Dame.
legend.
We need linebackers. We drafted a linebacker later. So to me, I feel like if we were going to draft a linebacker anyways, we should have taken the best one available. And that guy's a beast. I mean, we all watched Notre Dame play Ohio State, and that guy just be an absolute field general.
I didn't hear his name called all that much. But
Yeah, okay.
Was he one of the 10 guys on the field that last play?
No.
Oh.
Well, he was one
he
of
was
them.
the guy
supposed
that
to be the
wasn't on
11th,
field.
yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the 10. But yeah, I think we should have drafted him. I'm happy with Zenner, but he did just break his tibula and fibula.
That's why he dropped so low.
So hopefully that's not an issue.
Michael Hall, we like.
I like Michael Hall,
Love
and
it.
I like oh man,
How do you think Thrash is going to do? The only wide receiver we got.
if he plays, I'd be
don't-
shocked.
Yeah, I don't
But
see
I
him
mean,
making
we
the
still
team.
have to play Cedric Tillman. We'd hardly played him.
That's true.
But I will say, when he was on the field, he looked great. I like Cedric Tillman a lot still. But the DB we got from,
South Dakota, Miles Harden.
is that the one that won SEC Defensive Player of the Year last year?
It is not.
Then we got another one.
The linebacker from Mississippi State,
Yeah, linebacker.
Nathaniel Watson.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think that's it either. Is it?
No, it is.
It's
Yeah.
the only guy from
Yeah.
SEC you drafted.
Mhm.
So yeah, him. Which I'm happy with, but I still would have liked to have. Honestly, both of them. I think we could go without drafting a lineman. Our depth is pretty good in that position.
We need linebackers.
And we need linebacker. I mean, we have literally JOK
That's it.
and Jordan Hicks.
Well,
So-
Dallas also needed linebackers, which thankfully we did get Maurice Leofau in the 4th round, which I love. Traded down in the 1st, kind of unexpected. I wanted the lineman from Duke,
That was in the 3rd. by
who
the way.
well, he was, yeah.
3rd round. Maurice. in the 3rd
Tampa
round.
scooped up the Duke kid. But we still got a Oklahoma tackle, Tyler Guyton. Worked out pretty well for us last time.
Was that your 1st round pick?
Correct. No running back, which again kind of shocked me. But DE in the 2nd round, which I like. More lineman help with Cooper Beebe in the 3rd. A wideout from Southeast Missouri. We're pretty good at developing talent. And there's one thing Dallas is good at. It's actually drafting people and developing them. So
Developing wide receivers specifically, too.
just to not pay.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
CD is
they're
about to
great.
happen.
They're great on their 2nd team.
NFL.com, that is any stock, gives us an A- overall.
They gave the Browns, what, a C minus?
They gave the Brownies a C+. I think
Which
the
is
lowest
insane.
overall
Every pick
ranking.
that I saw was an A graded. So I don't understand how that made any sense.
And look, I think draft grades right after the draft are the dumbest thing of all time.
I was just about to say,
They are.
who the
I
hell's
think- I
giving
think-
these?
we have no clue.
I think the NFL or NFL.com specifically should wait until after the season, or maybe do like a midway through the season grade and then end of the season grade.
I mean, all you're evaluating right now is if you fill the holes you need filled based on position, not based on how good these guys actually are. You know. Any big winners and losers that stand out?
We're losers.
Are we?
We have to support the Eagles and Cooper DeJean.
We do have to.
You specifically have to.
Look, you know, I can
It
like
doesn't hurt
I
me
can
that
like
bad.
the player,
Buy a
not the
jersey.
team.
It doesn't hurt me that bad.
Fell out of the first, and then I love Philly's first two picks, both corners. I think their first round pick is an absolute steal, and then Cooper in the second round. It's only a matter of time until he's picking off Dak Prescott, and I'm feeling conflicted.
Multiple times in one game.
Probably a pick six.
At least one. I think the Steelers did good getting Roman Wilson. I think that's kind of a sneaky pick that I'm pretty afraid of, especially having to play them twice and with their quarterback fiasco they have going on of two, in my opinion, very solid choices to start. That makes me nervous, especially with him being big and athletic and fast.
For me, biggest loser is I can't not go Atlanta, just based on their first round pick. And the more I think about it, the more and more I hate it.
Do you guys hate it?
I do.
I was listening to the McAfee show today, and the Falcons GM was on there, and he said that they were preparing him. He was trying to compare it to what the Packers have done. They were just going to build him up. But
Sure.
the
Where
thing-
you run into the issue is his rookie deal's up when Kirk Cousins' deal is
That's the
up.
thing, yeah. You can build a guy up for a year or two, but not when you just paid Kirk for 4 years.
And it's way different because Kirk hasn't even played a game there yet. He owes nothing to the Falcons.
And I will also say, kind of in the Falcons' favor, he's 36 coming off of an Achilles tear. So
let's draft a 25-year-old quarterback who's also coming off an injury.
Yeah, but he's 25.
Well, he's going to be 29 when Kirk's deal is up, if Kirk makes it that far.
But I also think they're planning on playing Kirk for 2 years at most. And he'll be the fall guy if they're not successful.
Well, my thing is, you know, you're looking at probably a playoff team. Division's terrible. They should definitely beat the Saints, Bucks, and there's no way Carolina gets this good this quick. So why
I
make...
think they beat the Saints, dude.
The Bucks.
I think so.
You think they beat the Bucks as well?
I think they're right there with the Bucks. I think on paper they're probably a better team.
Spencer Rattler, QB1, is going to lose to the Falcons.
7th QB taken. I just think you have a chance to make your team better right now with a great skill guy or literally anything else except backup quarterback. And if you loved him that much, don't sign Kirk in the first place.
I'll be honest. I think you see if you have great skill guys that you have now. We don't know how good Drake London is. We don't know how good Kyle Pitts is. We don't really know how good Bijan Robinson is.
We feel a lot better about Bijan.
We do. But we don't know how good he is. We don't know how good any of them are because Arthur Smith is the probably worst offensive mind, and he's a football terrorist.
Jackass.
He's a football terrorist. And, of course, no better place to go than Pittsburgh, who is known for having football terrorists as offensive coordinator.
You're talking about Matt Canada? He was awesome. As a Browns fan, I fucking loved
Oh, me
him.
too.
Yeah, bring him
I
back.
fucking loved him.
Bring him back.
They still beat us, but
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But they bring in the only guy probably worse than Matt Canada.
or level.
They're in the same ballpark.
It may be a small improvement by like 5 yards per game. But, I mean, they don't know how good their skill position guys are now. And you have all these guys that are on contracts soon as far as Drake London and Kyle Pitts go. So they probably did that to make them happy because they are their long-term pieces. They know Kirk
Should
Cousins
be.
isn't a long-term piece. So maybe they did that to make them guys feel better. And if Kirk Cousins don't want to play, Kirk Cousins don't want to play. He's fully guaranteed anyways. We'll just play Michael Penix.
Look, it might work out, but I think when you have a chance like that to immediately make your team better and you pick the worst possible spot, for me, it's just very confusing. I like what overall what they did with the rest of their picks. Clemson DE in round 2, some more defensive help. Bama running back always works out behind Bijan. But for me,
And
I think
Algier,
they're
still.
clear. He is still on the roster, yeah. I think they're the clear loser. I think overall there's not many teams that really did terrible, but Atlanta to me stands out as.
But I think
miss.
we had this same conversation when Jordan Love was drafted. Why didn't they get Aaron Rodgers' help? All this stuff.
Of course.
But
that was the
obviously it's a
story
little
for
different.
his entire career.
It's a little different because Aaron Rodgers was tenured and their quarterback moving forward.
And was also talking about leaving and retiring. There are questions there, so I get the Love pick. Of course, it worked out very well.
Very well.
But maybe they're not happy with how Kirk Cousins' rehab's going.
That's possible, too.
Maybe he's not going to be ready.
Let me.
Do you really want to run into the issue of losing the first 4 games because you have no quarterback? Or do you want to at least have a fighting chance?
Bay, comment, concern?
If you were the Falcons, who would you pick at 8? Who would you? If you're the GM, who do you pick?
So I was thinking, watching it live, I was thinking wideout.
Which
you never
is
have
a Dunzy.
Yeah, would have had a Dunze. Could never have too much line help, offensive or defensive. But yeah, I would have taken Odunze myself. Bring Kirk in, you have London, Pitts, and Odunze. It's a great trio. And who knows? Like I said, grades mean nothing. 6 months from now, this might be the steal of the draft. Who knows? Any other losers stand out to you guys? Either pick-wise or overall?
Not really. I think, honestly, most teams drafted pretty well, which I feel like is unusual. New England going off the wall and drafting a quarterback in the top 5 blew my mind. Even though I knew they were going to, I still expected it not to happen. But to me, that tells you, all right, Bill Belichick's definitely not involved.
New regime.
But I think if J.C. Latham was still available, that's who the Falcons would have picked. But that's just my opinion.
Any big winners you guys like a lot? Hurts me to say, but I got to go Philly. Again, I think Quinyon Mitchell at 22 is an absolute steal. I love Cooper in the second round. Get another great linebacker with Jalix Hunt. Clemson running back, a white guy no less. They drafted both a white corner and a white running back.
Historic.
It's 2024. I didn't think these guys even still existed. Another Clemson linebacker, Florida State wideout. They always draft very well, unfortunately. And this year, no different.
I gotta say, my Houston Texans killed it.
Cade Stover, best tight end of all time.
Very happy with that pick. I like the Brock Bowers pick, too. I can't remember who drafted him.
Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, that potential to do some damage there in Vegas. I don't know what their head coach has cooked up for that, but
rocking the Gardner Minshew and 2 tight end system.
Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers is deadly.
Don't forget Devontae Adams.
He always Adams. Overlooked.
Until they trade him in week 6.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Gardner wasn't using him anyways.
Yeah. He's going to demand the trade.
Yeah, getting a Georgia DB, Kamari Lassiter, I think is a steal at 42 overall. Because they did trade down also, I believe. Notre Dame lineman. Of course, Cade Stover, we all know and love. Yeah, what a bright future. If only you would have jumped ship and actually been a full Texans fan.
We almost did.
You lose Nick Chubb.
I'm telling you.
Babe, would you support that? As a lifelong Browns fan, you've been through the hard time just like Cam.
I wouldn't call myself a lifelong Browns fan. I used to be a Bengals fan.
If we would have released,
I was trying to give you credit.
If we would have released Nick Chubb, is that not viable to jump ship?
No, you can jump ship. I've already jumped too many ships. I'm on this Brown ship till it sinks. But yeah,
well,
if they would have traded Nick Chubb,
it's got to go afloat first.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah, good point. No, I wouldn't have blamed you if you would have jumped ship after that, especially to the Texans.
Which, I mean, it's okay to root for multiple teams anyways.
Of course. You always
I'm not going to have
Texans
Texans merge,
favorite,
but there's a reason I have that Nick Chubb signed helmet right there.
Exactly.
JSA certified.
As far as fantasy implications, do you guys like any of these quarterbacks? Outside of Caleb, who's in a great situation, I don't like Drake May.
I like Bo Nix.
I think Bo Nix was my favorite quarterback pre-draft on the field, but fantasy-wise, I don't think there's any...
QB1 in Denver. Denver was a pretty high-scoring offense last year once they got it figured out. Sean Payton's a throw-first guy. They still have Sutton. Judy was dropping too many balls for Sean Payton's liking, so I still like Bo Nix.
Does anybody like Jaden Daniels in Washington?
Fantasy purposes, absolutely, because he's mobile. So he's going to get points on the ground. He's going to get points in the air. Now, maybe they'll have a head coach that can finally utilize Scary Terry for what Scary Terry's worth.
That'd be nice.
But I doubt it. But again, they have a great offense that's ready to go. They just need a great scheme to run that offense, and I think Jaden Daniels brings that.
Where do we stand on J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota?
Any quarterback throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson is a quarterback I want on my fantasy football team.
Bingo. That's all you got to do is just
draft
give
that
it to him.
combo.
That's it.
You can get J.J. out of free agency after the draft's over.
I think the only hesitation on him is we didn't see enough of him in college because he didn't throw that much. But when he did, he was efficient, he was effective, very accurate. And again, at least call 7-8 plays a game of just throw it to JJ,
And again,
whether he's open or not,
Justin Jefferson needs like a quarter of a yard of separation to catch a football.
if that.
So
But the thing about McCarthy is there is college open and then there's NFL open. He can make the college throws, but that NFL open, it's a lot more tighter. The window's a lot more smaller. It's if he can make that throw.
I'll be honest, I think a rookie quarterback's dream is a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson.
For sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't want that?
He could be high school open. That's how Justin Jefferson plays football.
Yeah.
I
good
mean,
point.
it's basically him playing against high school corners, no matter which corner it is.
Yeah, and then it's just how does JJ respond to like pressure, different coverages, how fast does he learn the defenses? It's really going to come down to that, and that'll decide how good he is.
Of course, Penix, barring Kirk not being ready, will not be starting. Of all the wideouts from this class, most notably Marvin Harrison, fantasy-wise, what do we think? He's the only guy there, probably getting doubled at least half the time. Great talent, yes, but I don't love Kyler, and I don't think they're going to be a super heavy throwing offense.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Marquise Brown. So, yeah, I mean, he's literally the only guy. I think they could run a lot of fun stuff, maybe handoffs out of the backfield and stuff like that, because he is insanely fast. And maybe maybe they have to go more of a West Coast offense,
The wildcat action, maybe.
something like that.
Just get the ball in his hands.
He's going to make plays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is the year that Kyler actually has a full camp. He can get back to his original self, which was a good fantasy quarterback, and made good fantasy wide receivers out of that. So if he can get back to what he was 2 or 3 years ago, I don't think you have a problem drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he'll get overdrafted. I think you'll pay way too much for him.
That's my problem, yeah.
But just like Bijan, this is the guy until he's not.
Romeo Dunze in Chicago, what do we think? Of course, more talent around him there.
Not on my draft board.
Not at all.
Wide receiver 3, till further notice, in that system. You're not going to beat out DJ Moore. You might beat out Keenan Allen.
If he's healthy, which
Maybe.
is always a question.
So if Keenan Allen goes down, I think you see a Dunze shoot up in stock. But for now, I think it's DJ Moore than Keenan Allen off the board.
And of course, for the rookie quarterback, it kind of falls down to who he has more chemistry with through camp, through preseason. Maybe he just has a connection with Odunze, and he becomes a number one guy. But until then, yeah, I'm a little weary, especially for where he's going to be drafted at.
Well, I will say, so far there hasn't been a single quarterback not have chemistry with DJ Moore.
Or Keenan Allen.
Or Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's case is a little different because of the quarterbacks he played with, I will
Gunslingers.
say. But DJ Moore played with the worst of the worst that Carolina had to offer, and then Justin Fields. So I think DJ Moore is still your wideout 1. I think he's still the top of your Chicago Bears draft board.
My favorite wideout, I think, going into this year is Keon Coleman in Buffalo. Really their only threat.
I like Roman Wilson.
I like Roman too.
Literally, it's George Pickens and Roman Wilson. George Pickens, a sideline runner. Roman Wilson's got over the middle all day long.
I really like Worthy in Kansas City. I think that pick is nasty. I think they're going to do the same thing with Tyreek. They're going to do the bubble screens. They're going to have Kelsey go over the middle and then Tyreek over the top. I really think he's going to explode.
Have the Bills not learned that lesson? You're going to trade down with Kansas City and let them take
Yeah, that's a weird move.
a guy who's going to burn you in the playoffs again?
The Bills love seeing Kansas City achieve things.
Clearly.
They love helping
There's
them.
no other
Well, it's
explanation.
easy to do. Hey, that was our draft pick. We just won a Super Bowl, boys.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, I love Coleman. Again, being the only guy there, big physical dude, good speed, great hands. I think dropped like 2 balls his entire college career. fun guy, personality-wise. If you guys saw the clip when he's talking about his coat that he got from Macy's, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you buy coats in the summer when they're cheap. You don't buy them when you need them.
On a nightcap with Ocho and Shannon Sharp, that was all they talked about. And Ocho was like, he's got it. That's the next me.
Hey, if Ocho signs off, draft
Ocho
dude right
signed
now.
off.
Hall of Famer.
Mentioned Xavier Worthy, and I really like Adonai Mitchell in Indianapolis. He only dropped because of, I guess, some character concerns, but talent-wise, maybe the best guy in this entire draft.
Yeah.
For sure.
You have Tony Rich comes back fully healthy, throwing that deep ball again.
Not a fan of Malik Neighbors, knowing that Danny Dimes is the guy going forward.
And see, we talked a lot about the Giants. I love Neighbors as a player, but in that situation, no. I can't get behind it.
On the plus side, him and Jalen Hyatt are going to have to battle for wide receiver 1, and it's going to be stiff competition.
And even then, what's the upside of a Giants wideout 1?
Hey, you never know. Danny Dimes coming
think we
off
know.
an injury, got to prove it. Everybody's saying this is the worst signing of all time. He looks like he's doing coke every day. I mean,
Allegedly.
say he looks like it.
He might be.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see him in that presser?
Dude,
His
I've never
eyes
seen
could
eyes
not
wider.
have been wider, and I did not see a pupil.
He was just amped up. That's all.
I did not see a single pupil in either of those eyes.
He was stoked to still have his job. They didn't draft a quarterback.
So what? He likes the cocaine. Allegedly.
Yeah, but also
it's
the other
classic
reason I like
habit.
Bo Nix the most is because other than Caleb, there's no one else they can plug in. They have Zach Wilson backing him up. Like they're riding on Bo Nix to be successful, or it's Zach Wilson is our other option. He's never going to get benched.
Defensive wise, anything that you guys love for maybe an early Rookie of the Year pick? I have one clear favorite. I think it was an absolute steal. Can't believe he fell so far. But Minnesota getting Dallas Turner at 17. Guy should have been probably a top 7, top 8 pick.
Yeah, I'm not fully prepared to make my Rookie of the Year picks, but
We got to repeat last year's performance, you know.
well,
Really no clear great edge rusher this draft, which is again is why the first 12 picks were all offensive players.
my favorite edge rusher is definitely Leatu, the Colts guy, the guy the Colts drafted. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, nothing super stand out, but I think that guy's going to be a beast.
I do love Chop Robinson in Miami as a kind of Parsons-esque linebacker / edge rusher. Probably won't get as many opportunities just to rush. And then for me, I mean, again, I talked about it already. I love the Eagles' 2 corners picks. I think Quinion Mitchell could definitely be Rookie of the Year. And same for Cooper, honestly.
I think the problem you run into with like the Eagles defense is it's so studded that the expectation is that you perform well and maybe you get overlooked like Jalen Carter. Should have probably won Rookie of the Year.
Slowed down late in the year, but yeah.
And Will Anderson just kind of stayed consistent. It wasn't anything crazy good, but it was just consistency, and I think that's why he won. But, I mean, the Eagles don't there's nothing wrong with betting on an Eagles guy to win Rookie of the Year.
Anything else draft-wise you guys want to mention before we go to NBA talk?
Nope.
All right, NBA-wise, first of all, Cam, go ahead and lead us off with Anthony Edwards.
It's just the Timberwolves as a whole, really.
They proved me wrong. I said I want to see him win one series. I picked Phoenix to win. God knows why based on that series.
Hey, at the beginning of the year, I picked the Suns in the finals. So,
I had Suns' best record.
They were supposed to be better.
and they have the pieces. They really do.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
They do.
They have the pieces to the puzzle. They just don't fit.
They don't know how to do the puzzle. That's the problem.
What's the puzzle? You have 3 guys that only operate in isolation basketball.
Other than Bradley Beal, who I have always thought is overrated.
Doesn't get mentioned enough. Is that the worst contract of all time now?
It's up there.
I don't know why they gave him so much money.
Well,
I
the
mean-
Wizards did first, which makes sense at the time. He's the only guy there.
Yeah, right. And people always bring that up. Oh, well, yes, he averaged 30 one year. I'm like, yeah, but who else was on that team?
In garbage time on a bad team.
Yeah, nobody else was there. He rode John Wall's coattails until John Wall left and got hurt. Like, we're talking about a guy who was always second place. And when he had nobody else on his team, thought he was a first place guy? No.
But now he's barely a third-place guy.
Exactly. So, yes, I think that part messed up, but I think if they gave their bench more time to play, I think they could have been competitive.
I just got a bone to pick with KD. Look, generational score, maybe the most talented offensive player of all time. But he got 2 rings in Golden State after the biggest bitch move of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to join the team that just beat you, that already won 73 games and some rings by
And
themselves.
to be fair, they had lost the finals that year. Just saying. They did lose the finals that year that he went there, or the year after. Or no, the year before he went is when the comeback happened.
Yeah, they were up 3-1.
So
LeBron did LeBron things.
To say that the Warriors maybe needed a piece isn't exactly false.
Well, just to beat LeBron.
Maybe you didn't need Kevin Durant.
But look, KD, never a great leader, which I think we're seeing, especially now in Phoenix. He's always had the best talent around him. I think when he's all said and done, he's kind of underachieved his whole career.
Any MVPs?
I think he won one.
Just that one.
It was in OKC, right?
You the real MVP. Yeah, he won. That was it, though.
He had Russ and Harden. Before Harden was really Jimmy Harden. Then you have the Kyrie Harden experiment in Brooklyn.
James Harden is exactly what he was in OKC right now.
Yeah, but not on the volume there at the time.
That OKC team had a lot more pieces. That OKC team was
they had
awesome.
Serge Ibaka.
Yeah. They had Adams. They had a young Adams. Yeah. The GOAT, Kendrick Perkins. He's coming off giving his 5 minutes. That was freaking huge.
Naturally.
You take that team. You go to Brooklyn.
That was a mess. That was a disaster.
Again, I really can't blame KD for that. But he's trying to be LeBron with the general managing standpoint, and he's just nowhere near as good at it, and doesn't have the leadership or vocal ability to get a team going like that.
I think he's only decided where he wants to go. I don't think he's in the like LeBron in that sense, where he's picking his pieces around him. But I think what they had to trade to get him was a lot. And that was a decision that they made, and I think it was a bad decision because I think McCall Bridges was a lot more important than they realized. And having those guys coming off the bench being able to be floor generals, right now they just don't have a floor general. And I think one of these guys on their bench can be one. They're just not getting the opportunity because they have to play Bradley Beal at point guard, Devin Booker at shooting guard, and KD at small forward. That leaves a power forward and a center available.
They're playing KD at the 4 and 5. When Nurkic goes out, KD's playing the 5.
I don't hate that.
I think
defensively it's a disaster, sure, depending on who you're playing. I think you can get by playing like that against some teams, like even the Nuggets. Because of how much time Jokic spends outside of the paint, I think you can get away with that because KD is so long, he could still get a contest in the paint. But when you're playing a team like the Sixers or the Timberwolves, where it's Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns spends some time outside of the paint, but he's still got one of the best hooks in the game. And Rudy Gobert, offensively underrated, is not even saying enough.
According to the players, he's the most overrated player in basketball, which I think is just absurd.
It's pretty disrespectful. Was he a 4-time defensive player?
About to be 4-time.
Now, I will say, they traded a lot. And I think maybe that's where his overrating comes from.
And I thought that initially too, but the more and more days that pass, the trade looks better and better.
Agreed.
Consistency.
But you also, like you said, traded your whole future. Because Rudy Gobert's not getting younger.
No, but the future's right now.
Sure. But eventually, Anthony Edwards is also going to need help. I mean, you don't have a first-round draft pick for the next 5 years.
You have to think also Ant is one of those guys where people are going to want to go play with him. Free agency, I don't think will be a problem at all.
Yeah, I think that's just a bad move, though. Maybe if you can get role players out of free agency, but if there's any stars that want to come, no. Say no.
It depends on which one.
You probably got 2 more years of Michael Conley. Then you need a new point guard.
Being a good floor general, yeah. But then you need that. You don't need you need another Mike Conley.
Yeah, and that's the easiest piece to bring in for them.
Do you think a Trae Young could come in and do a
No.
Mike Conley? No?
God, no.
Fuck no?
No.
I think if Trae would change his play style
if the Hawks are getting rid of either of them, if the Timberwolves can get DeJounte Murray, they would, by no doubt in my mind, be able to sweep a team in the finals.
I didn't think about Murray.
Outside of that, as far as all-star point guards go, no. They don't need one.
Yeah, I think you need a point guard that's definitely more traditional. Score if need be, but play make and play defense like Mike Conley is.
Or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's never going to leave OKC, but you need that style of player. If he has to put up 30, he will. If he has to put up 20 and 35 assists, he will. But he's also going to be playing defensive, first-team All-NBA defense while he's doing that.
Series breakdown-wise here. Firstly, what the hell is up with the Cavs? After getting blown out twice in Orlando and in a close game now, fourth quarter, in a 2-2 series. Did we overrate Cleveland? Did we underrate Orlando? In my mind, on paper, the series should already be over, really.
I think Orlando was underrated. I think they're no, I don't want to say that. I think they're performing better than expected. I still don't think Orlando's that great of a team.
They can't be.
I think they just have some momentum, especially after that first game where they blew us out, and they're just riding on that momentum for now. Because momentum in the playoffs is really what separates the losers from the winners.
Huge deal, yeah. Assuming, either way, how the game goes tonight, you still taking the Cavs in 7?
Yeah.
Now, they go to Orlando after this game, right? They steal this one in Cleveland. They're up 3-2 going home.
I forget how that works.
It's still.
It's always different.
Is it 2-3-2 or is it 2-2-1-1-1?
I think it's 2-3-2.
Yeah, Game 6 should, Game 6 should be back in Cleveland as the higher seed.
Okay.
Both teams terrible on the road, at least through the season.
Mm-hmm.
So home court does matter a lot, but yeah, odd series there. And then you go Philly stealing Game 5 here in overtime in New York.
Irrelevant.
Maxey, 46 points.
Embiid put up 50 in Game 4?
Yeah.
I don't see either team or any of those 4 teams putting up much of a fight against Boston. Assuming Boston, of course, does beat the Zombie Heat and pulls that series out.
The team that does match up the best is the Knicks, to be honest.
With Boston?
Yeah.
So, Bay, you're a Celtics guy, of course.
Yes.
Who are you most scared of, I guess, in the East, if there is one team?
Not really scared of any teams in the East. If I did have to pick, it would be the Knicks because, like Cam just said, they match up so well. I don't know how. It really depends on how Tatum plays. That's why we lost the finals last year. He just did not show up for the big games. But with that being said, I don't see the Celtics having a problem with anyone besides the Timberwolves when they play them in the finals.
This is your official prediction.
That is my official prediction.
To me, the Knicks did exactly what the Warriors did when they lost to the Cavs in the finals. They said, we need to find a team to beat the Celtics. We need to beat the best team in our conference. And I think that's exactly what they put together. Now, obviously, that doesn't match up great against every other team, but if they can get to the Celtics, they can give them a really hard time. And if they get to the Celtics and it's the conference finals, and that's a 7-game series, Celtics could run into some issues in the finals.
Who do you throw OG on, Tatum?
100%.
All the time?
Yeah. Never switch.
48 minutes a game.
Never switch. That is OG's guy. If anybody else is on him, they're getting benched.
Can Drew stop Jalen Brunson? Because I assume that'd be the same thing, consistent matchup every play.
Should be. But, I mean, again, that's where you would then, basically with OG on Tatum, you would take away Tatum. OG's a great defender. Obviously, Tatum's still going to make contested shots and stuff.
Yeah, he's going to get his points.
He's very good at that. But you would then have to rely on Jaylen Brown, which they've had to do in the past, and it doesn't always work. And really outside of that, I think Kristaps is out for a while now.
He's out for at least Game 5.
So if he was back then, you have to rely on Kristaps, which we've seen you can't really do that anymore. This isn't him on the Knicks 5 years ago. So I think that would be your best bet is if you can lock down Tatum, the series is easily winnable.
Now, what about the Pacers-Bucks series? Of course, with no Giannis and now Dame out for the past couple games, Middleton banged up. Indy could seal it tonight, up 3-1.
I think the Pacers are a scary team.
I love Indy.
If they win and they get that momentum, that's a scary team to play. I think they also would match up well with the Celtics also.
I think it's a very entertaining matchup for sure. I think them and the Knicks would be much more physical, but to see the pace that Celtics and Pacers could put up, I mean, that's must-see TV.
It would be a great series. It really just comes down to, I think it comes down to Turner. If he can, they leave him open. And they found that, you find that out last game. What'd he do? 7 for 9? If he can,
Incredible efficiency.
if he can hit those threes, they are nasty because you know Halliburton's going to find him. So if he can hit that three consistently, Pacers are extremely scary.
That's Tyrese the assistronaut Halliburton.
Yes, sir.
By the way.
That's not quite caught on yet.
We're getting there.
Only a matter of time.
Just keep shoving it down their throats.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't trust Kristaps to cover Miles Turner. He's too slow.
No, he's going to blow right by him.
And even then, he's just going to body him down low. I think that's a terrible matchup for Kristaps.
So honestly, I would put Al Horford on Turner.
But again, if you put him out at the 3, Miles Turner's first step is a lot quicker than Al's.
At his age, especially. Yeah.
So, but Al is long, and he's really good at blocking shots. So, I don't know. It's a tough matchup for the Celtics if they have to play the Pacers.
To the West, we have 2 series already over. Thunder sweep the Pelicans, kind of as expected, especially with no Zion.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially with no Zion. Keyword.
But for me, good to see the Thunder actually get over that hump, win a series with this young of a team. Coach of the year now.
Dominant fashion.
Yeah, I mean, really not even all that close. They'll match up, I think, well with anybody. And Denver shuts out the Lakers after they stole a game.
How about Jamal Murray, man?
God, stone cold.
2 of them in the same series.
Most improved player of the year.
And really didn't even really play that well overall.
No.
Shot poorly. But when
When
it's
it
needed,
matters.
when it's clutch, man, he's
Kobe Bryant-esque, if you will.
Yeah, definitely want the ball in his hands.
Terrible efficiency, but you know when the time comes who needs the ball.
Clutch.
And, of course, the Wolves closing out Phoenix. And then Clippers-Mavs 2-2 in a bizarre and great series after they almost blew a 31-point lead to Dallas in Game 4. Ended up holding on for that.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Just teams blowing gigantic leads all of a sudden.
31 points.
They get comfortable.
I think that was would have been the most comeback win in playoff history.
Yeah.
For sure.
After the Clippers did it last year to Golden State. I think it was 28 or 29. I'm still sticking with Dallas, but Luka has not played well.
Which is odd.
And he's open to that.
And look, he's been banged up, and I think part of it is he's expending a lot more energy on defense, which is great to see. But offensively, shooting,
Let's back it up a little bit.
he's playing better than typical Luka.
No. I'm saying
defense.
let's back up that effort. Let's go back to regular season Luka and just splash 40 points.
But I think the good thing about that is he has Kyrie, who is a great scorer, especially in the fourth quarter, where he can be the second guy. He doesn't have to always be their entire offense. I want to see Luka do more of that. He doesn't need to always be the floor general. Play more off ball.
But he's pretty used to Kyrie missed a lot of time last season, so he's pretty used to taking it up the floor, slow-ass dribbles, slow-ass step back.
ISO Joe-esque.
Yeah.
God,
But
Luka,
I also think you should keep Luka bringing the ball up the floor. I don't think Kyrie should bring the ball up the court. He's looking to score.
He's looking
Anytime
to
he
drive.
touches the ball, he's looking to score. Whether he's going to finish on Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden at the same time, he's looking to score. No matter what's in that paint, no matter what's in his face.
Gafford and Lively have been excellent, of course. Defensively altogether, Mavs look very good. Clippers with no Kawhi really hasn't made a huge difference. He might come back for Game 5. If he does, probably won't even play that much. But Paul George rebounded in Game 4 with an incredibly clutch fall-away 3 in the corner that I feel like nobody else hits that shot except Paul George. After a terrible Game 3.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is the playoff experience with Paul George.
And another guy that I think is criminally underrated, Vika Zubac.
Agreed.
Good matchup for him against the, a little bit lighter Mavs centers.
No, I think he's one of the better traditional centers in the league.
That never gets mentioned.
Because he's a traditional center.
Yeah.
So from here on out, who do you guys like? Game 5, super pivotal. Luka banged up, and again, not playing that great.
I think it's the Clippers.
In 7, though. I think it's going to go all the way to 7.
Regardless, it definitely goes 7.
And I think the next series is they go to the
winner will get
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
it's Oklahoma's series to lose.
Yep.
Now, previewing the only series we know for sure is absolutely set right now, Minnesota and Denver, which I think it could be a finals matchup, honestly.
For sure.
I can't wait for this. I think there's so many great storylines on both teams and both sides of the ball. Who do you guys got pulling that one out?
Minnesota.
Minnesota in 6. I mean,
I think Gobert and Towns can match up with Jokic.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
just swarm them.
I think those are the two best guys to match up with Jokic. Especially if you can, honestly, you don't need to play them both at the same time. I think you can put them on in shifts. Obviously, offensive purposes, they need to be on the floor at the same time sometimes, but I don't think it has to be as much as it is currently. I think you can back their minutes off each and shift them in and out. That way they stay fresh on Jokic. And he's constantly getting a fresh set of hands against him defensively. Because they are both very talented defenders in different aspects of the game.
Yeah, I think Gobert especially is the ideal matchup for when Jokic does stretch the floor and controls the ball top of the key. There's really nobody else you could pick that would be a better defender than Rudy at that space. I think McDaniels on Aaron Gordon's a great matchup on both sides. And I don't know how you stop Anthony Edwards.
I don't see Jamal Murray doing shit on Anthony Edwards.
Not defensively.
Dude. Those cute game winners last series, that shit ain't going to happen on Anthony Edwards.
I hate to say it, but I think Aaron Gordon needs to guard Anthony Edwards. I think that's their best chance. Because of how much bigger he is, he might get beat on a first step, but Aaron Gordon is still very fast and long. So I think that would be your best matchup for him.
Maybe you throw Jaden on it. Or no, never mind. Definitely not Michael Porter. That would be weird. That'd be bad basketball.
And that's my other thing, too, is that's another way you can do the shifts is whoever's not guarding Jokic stands in the corner with Michael Porter.
That's all he's going to do is just sit in the corner.
You're staying
just
fresh.
Keep a spy.
You can switch that guy off of whatever screen, and then because it's always Aaron Gordon screening for Michael Porter. So then you have Cat on Aaron Gordon when he rolls.
I think their best game plan is, like we said, eliminate Jokic, make other guys beat you.
To your best of ability.
Well, of course, yeah. He's still going to put up 25, 12, and 12, right?
Yeah.
But give him that and make Jamal Murray hit shots.
That's what it's going to come down to is Jamal Murray's they're going to smother Jokic. So it's going to come down to if Murray can carry this team, which I don't think he can. I mean, it's really easy to play well when you have Jokic as your center. So, like I said, I don't think he's going to do anything on Anthony, and I think that's going to dictate the series.
I had picked Denver, of course, to win the whole thing. But this matchup, man, it's tough to go against Minnesota. And I think we're really looking at an OKC-Minnesota Western Conference Final.
Which I did say last week. So.
On record.
On record.
Mystic
and,
Mac.
Man, God, in that series, too,
That's a 7-game series.
Such a great matchup. Across the board. I think Shea on Ant is such a great matchup, both sides of the ball.
It's the future of the NBA, guarding each other. So,
can Chet body up Rudy and or Cat?
I think his best matchup's Rudy because they're similar builds. It's hard for anybody to really body Cat, so you just have to hope that he's outside the paint for most of the game, which he usually is.
Chet can embody my 4-year-old daughter. It's going to come down to if he can hit his mid-range and then find the open guy. He's not bodying any of those guys. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
And it might not even be Shea on Ant. I'd probably throw Lou Dort on him.
I absolutely would.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Jalen. Either one.
Yeah, I would throw Lou Dort on him for sure.
I think individual defensive matchups, OKC hits anybody and everybody.
Yeah, especially with Lou the Tort Dort.
God, the one and only. Maybe our best nickname of all time, outside of Greg the Torch Dorch.
Trademark it.
We tried. It's in process right now.
Good.
So yeah, overall, I think we both feel good about Boston all the way in the East, and then whoever wins the OKC Minnesota series out of the West. And I think both those teams match up very well with Boston.
It would absolutely be whoever wins the Western Conference Finals.
Mathematically, I think that does check out.
Yeah.
So
they will go to the finals and play the Celtics.
Good
So,
call.
from a Boston fan perspective, who do you want to see in the finals?
Who do I think we'd play, beat?
Who would you feel best against?
Coming out of the West? Probably
Probably the Lakers, but that's not an option anymore.
If it was possible, sure.
Shoot, I don't know. Probably the Thunder. They're young. I don't know. The Celtics have the experience now. There's no excuse now. We get a young OKC team, kind of like that 2012 one, just too young to actually win it, but it's impressive that they got there. I would like to see OKC.
Do you feel any pressure on Boston? Again, it seems like this is kind of a win or bust sort of year.
That's how the last couple have been. Yeah, if they don't win it this year, it is a bust. Boston fans are going to be pissed off, and we're going to do the same thing next year when the Nuggets win that finals too.
And then do you think Tatum is in that 1A tier with Luka and Jokic and Giannis?
Oh, for sure. I think he's top 5 in the league right now.
He's gotten a lot of hate overall, from me included. Because he does play the style of, kind of hero ball where he can drop 55 and then put up 19 the next game.
Very,
I will say,
very
I had
inconsistent.
Tatum winning MVP, so I'm also a Tatum lover.
He can get inconsistent, that's for sure. Never bet on his points on any night because he might show up and give you 15. Never bet on Tatum points. But I don't know. This is his year. This is when he goes into his own tier of Finals MVP. Got his ring. I think he's, 24, 25?
Yeah, I'll say 24, 25. Yeah.
Still 18.
He looks like it.
He's
So.
still 18. Can you believe that?
Crazy.
This guy's still 18. I guess now it's time to go into Baylen's corner because he's got some gripes with me.
Dude, your takes on Zion Williamson are crazy.
I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. Because, again, I get in the group text probably every other week. It's like, dude, what the hell is Cam smoking?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what kind of bud do you have? Because I need some.
Dispensary.
Okay, that's good bud.
So starting off with Zion.
Zion. He is going to be if he's not already, a bust. One out of what does he have, 6 seasons? Or 5?
No, wait, it's that much already. Isn't
No,
it?
it's 5 or
I
6.
think it's 4 or 5.
I think it's 5. He was 19?
Shane, pull that up.
Yes, he is 19 years old.
No.
Tatum's still 18, Zion's still 19.
I don't know. I mean, the best ability is availability, and if he can't stay on the court, what good is he? I mean, what really has he accomplished? Does he has 1 All-Star? That's it?
2 All-Stars, 1
2.
Rookie of the Year. And yes, in his 5th season. 4th really because he missed all of 2021, 2022 with, of course, the foot injury. Only played 29 games the next year.
How many has he played this year?
Played 70.
This is his first year that he would have been able to win an NBA award in his career. That's
and
impressive.
how efficient is he?
He is very efficient. This year he shot 57% in effective field goal percentage.
Okay. So what's the gripe?
I don't see all the hype. You want to talk about hype?
No. This is the worst time to have this opinion on Zion Williamson when he played 70 basketball games.
I mean, this season, yeah, but if we're going to look at just one season.
Yeah, he played 70.
But my take on Zion has always been when he is on the floor, he is one of the most efficient players in the NBA.
I can't argue with that. You look at the numbers for sure, but he's got to be on the floor. His fat ass won't put down the chicken wings, man. Like, goddamn.
He just played 70 games.
For the first time in his career.
And where was he at come playoff time, though? Unfortunate timing, of course.
Watching Brandon Ingram's team.
And the Pelicans they're not ready to be a playoff team.
Why isn't that? Because their star they drafted in 19 hasn't done shit?
I wouldn't say he hasn't done shit. He's got a Rookie of the Year and 2 All-Stars.
That's great. What does that do for the team?
Again, when he's on the court, the team is a complete team.
Yeah, but he's got to be on the court. That's on
And for 70 games, he got his team to the playoffs.
This was a good year. This is a bad year to have this argument. But if we look at the career, and you talk about hype, you hate on Wemby because he had so much hype. Zion had more. He had more hype than
No,
Wemby.
he did not. No.
Dude, at Duke, every dunk he had was on SportsCenter for an hour and a half.
It was definitely comparable.
And Wemby's European team that played who knows what
Fair.
had every single one of their full games televised.
He can't help where he plays. That's where he was born.
That's fine. But if he was in college, his hype would have been even more, which is insane with how hyped up Wemby was.
Zion is definitely the most comparable to Wemby in terms of hype.
And it's still not even close.
He was getting recorded at age 16, dunking on these poor little white kids. He had hype at 16.
Well, that's just because every athletic high schooler that can do that
Very
gets
true.
that hype.
He wouldn't dunk on me.
No, I'd send a shit to the 5th row, and he'd get hurt with his fat ass. But No, I just get pissed because I know he's good. He can be good, but god damn, dude, just
I know.
get on the floor,
It
man.
aggravates me too because I'm a Zion supporter.
And even when he's on the floor, I don't think Zion is the piece to a team. He's not a Jokic or an Embiid. I think he's a great second option if he had another great scorer with him. But I don't think if you're in a playoff series, can you trust just Zion to win you a series?
Fuck no. Put a guy down low and a guy on the top of the key to guard him. He ain't doing shit.
But name a player where you can trust them to win the series. You can't trust Jokic to win a series by himself. He gets 15 assists a game.
Absolutely, I can.
No, you can't.
Can we say Ant? I mean, no guy can win by himself
I
5-on-1.
think
Ant
Ant is
is
in
the
that category.
closest comparison because he only gets like 3 or 4 assists a game. He's not passing the ball. He does play that. I am the guy who needs to win this game.
What about Shea in OKC though? Could he just win it by himself? I mean, yeah.
I think
That was our talk.
He
all
draws a
season.
lot of open. He draws a lot of
think
open
he's
shots.
capable,
Alex Caruso.
but I don't think
He's in a different tier.
Jokic is not capable by himself.
I disagree there.
Really, that style of basketball is dead. One guy carrying the team. The super teams
is.
killed that
Which
whole
I-
style.
I love to see
So,
that now,
I'll
especially
give you that.
after the whole Phoenix thing failed. I think we're kind of past the let's just bring a bunch of guys in. You're seeing it with OKC where you're actually building a team. And we've kind of gotten past the past 10 years of let's just get the 3 best players and they'll be great, of course. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, they'll do it. And people are actually worrying about their bench players now. They're actually getting bench players to come.
Some
No,
teams.
look at
Some,
Look at
the
Minnesota and
successful
OKC,
ones.
the best examples of that. They play 10 guys deep, and
Yeah.
10 guys contribute.
It's pretty awesome when you get a fresh 5 coming in and they're not just as good, but better than the other
Good
5.
enough.
Comparable.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just get pissed at Zion because he was supposed to be so good. I was
He is
excited
so
at
good.
Duke. Is he?
He is so good.
In the buffets, yeah, he tears it up. But when he's not on
When
the
he's
court,
on
dude.
the court, he is so good.
What's going on with the weight issues?
I don't think he has that anymore. I think he dropped it all the last offseason. Well, not all of it, but I think he's the build he wants to be,
He apparently dropped 20 pounds during the season this year.
which makes sense. When you're playing 70 basketball games,
That
you're
is
going
true.
to lose weight.
And you're going to gain weight when you're hurt.
Yeah, let's see how he comes into game 1 next year if he's still at an ideal weight.
Let's see how many more baby mamas he has.
I'm
Okay,
hoping that.
What are we talking about? Tyreek Hill, who finally admitted he has 10 children,
Yeah,
that he knows of.
4 of which he had this year.
Oh, good. Could you imagine?
he's lucky he's got
And he's
money.
married.
Fuck.
Or he got married too,
Oh,
somehow.
Good Lord.
Baby, don't worry about them kids. Fuck them kids. It's about me and you.
I love you, girl.
Yeah. Don't worry about Jamal, Demarius. Like, don't worry about the 10 kids.
All right, next up. Of course, you had beef over the whole Wemby thing.
I don't understand the Wemby hate. I mean, okay, let me retract that. I do understand because of all the media hype, but in terms of him playing, what's there to hate?
And here's my point. Because Cam, I'm in the same boat as you where Cam was both right and wrong. Were we expecting Wemby to be an MVP rookie year?
Fuck no.
Normal people were not. But if you
Are
go
we
back
afraid?
and watch
Even
the
the
media,
media, man, I
dude,
don't-
go back and watch it. I thought this was Michael Jordan.
That's how I felt about Zion.
I thought this
They were
was,
comparing him to LeBron.
I thought this was literally Michael Jordan after three-peating, coming back into the league, is what I thought Wemby was supposed to be.
You thought
That's
he-
what everybody said.
Even in the terrible media, I feel like I didn't hear a whole lot of that.
Go back, dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't hear any Wemby LeBron comparisons.
Oh. Yeah, because they were comparing him to Jordan
Oh,
already.
you passed LeBron. Like, you passed LeBron. I mean, I was worried that Wemby would get hurt because, guys that size get
Hey,
hurt.
That's what impressed me the most.
That was
Yes.
my number one worry. Was
for
and
sure.
Yes,
His
and
feet.
after about a month, my issues with Wembanyama changed. It was no longer that he was overhyped. It was he turns the ball over too much, and his three is not efficient as everyone made it out to be. And that still stands.
Well, he is going to turn the ball over more when you come from Europe playing like
and he
six.
shouldn't be bringing the ball up the floor.
I do agree with that. I
Which
understand
will
that.
change when
And he
personnel
should
changes.
not be handling the ball as much on offense.
I agree with that. That's on the coaching, though.
Agreed.
Yeah. So they got
Well,
to change that
yeah,
up.
coaching
But it's
personnel.
also the Spurs. I mean, who the
Yeah,
fuck
you want-
are they going to have bring
Want
it up?
Jeremy Sochan bringing the ball up,
Literally anyone else.
which will be the plan next year. This team is
It,
going to
it
be
has
gutted.
to be anyone else. It cannot be Victor. His playmaking is not what it is against European teenagers.
No. No.
Which, again, this was something that, he's just the best three-point shooter we've ever seen at that size. He's the best ball handler we've ever seen at this size. Oh, look at this step-back three. It's like, okay, that's not going to happen. We can't talk about that. And my point is, I think he averaged, end of the season, around like 34% from three. That's not that great anymore.
Not shabby for a 19-year-old kid.
It's not. But again,
not great.
That was one of the things that you drafted him on. Is and even overseas, he was a 34. His best, I think, was 37 last year. Before that, it was like 32.
Yeah, but that 3-point, that was just the cherry on top of the sundae. Like,
And
he's 7'6",
also-
he's a freak, he's a defensive freak, but he can also hit a three.
And the reason why he's a defensive freak is his actual defense isn't that good.
Well, it doesn't have to be when you're 7'6".
He's long. Of course, he's going to get blocks and steals. He's long.
Yep.
But he's a defensive liability at the same time.
That's absolutely not true.
That was crazy.
A liability?
Yes.
No.
Give me one game example. Who busted his ass?
Chet.
Busted his ass?
Yes.
What'd he get?
I think he put up like 26 on his dome.
Chet had a
Every
good game.
point on his dome? Every point. He said, Wemby, bring your ass here. 26 of these.
Probably.
Look,
But I mean, we can't really use who
you
busted
can't.
his ass
No.
because everybody just switches now.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're right. Half of those were probably on Jeremy Sochan.
if not more.
Probably.
But to call him a liability is insane.
He is.
No, he's a he doesn't have to guard guys one-on-one. Top of the key. He's good in the post, and he disrupts pretty much every shot anybody takes.
Top 3
Listen.
for Defensive Player of the Year.
The reason if you can get past the blocks, that's the only reason he's good in the post.
But why are you getting
know
past
where
the blocks?
he gets
blocks?
he
is an
gets the
important
blocks
thing.
from under the basket after getting shoved out of bounds.
Is that not a good effort? Is that not a good result?
Right.
If you're the coach, you don't like that?
However, the defensive aspect outside of the block is a liability. Guys are getting open on him because he's very easily moved. This is the same point I had. What's going to happen when he plays an Embiid? What's going to happen when he plays a Jokic? Guys that are big. And even the guys like Chet are bodying him out of the paint. Just because he has the length to recover doesn't mean he's a good defender.
No, but it helps.
The length to what?
Recover.
He did what?
The length to recover.
So he
Yes.
recovered.
Yes, he recovered. But the fact that he needed to recover is a defensive liability.
I don't
But
see why
why-
recovering is a
Because
liability.
here's the thing.
But why is he getting bodied? Why is he getting bodied?
Let me explain this to you. If you're watching a guy get back down in the
heated in here,
paint,
boys.
if you're watching a
the
guy
debate.
get back down in the paint, and the guy that is guarding him gets pushed out of bounds, what happens?
Someone's
Every
gotta
other
come help.
defender collapses.
Yes.
Yes. If that guy decides not to take that shot, now the entire offense is open for a three. That's why he's a liability. It's the foundational aspect makes him a liability. Yes, he can recover and get the blocks. I'm not taking that away from him. That is very good. But the effect that him getting pushed out of the paint has on the rest of the defense makes him a liability.
Well, keep in mind, this kid is still 19 years old.
And I'm not saying he's not going to get better. I'm hoping he puts on weight. I think that is his biggest problem.
That'll be the game changer.
If he can put on weight like Giannis did, yeah, it took Giannis 3 years, but even Chet put on not a bunch, but enough to be strong.
He also had a lot more free time. He missed the entire
That's
season.
true. But he also had to
Still
recover
had
from
to
a
do
broken
it.
foot.
Yeah, he had to do the rehab and then do the weight gain. So
Yeah.
we'll give him that.
But it's like there's still question marks. And to me, it's efficiency from three and even somewhat of the mid-range and turnovers and defense. And he has to get stronger to play better defense.
So the three was already answered. He closed the year off shooting like 40% from three, the second half.
And it rounded out to, so he was shooting, I mean, you got to think too. You're talking
No, he started very poorly. Agreed.
like
Yeah.
25%.
Terrible. Yeah.
So, yes, he rounded out the year to bring that up. But is it going to take another 40 games for him to get fire again?
No, I mean, to me, he addressed that issue and corrected it.
You got to look at the life changes outside of basketball. This dude moved to another country at 19, and he's playing a completely different game. He comes in, it's a full NBA crowd, and all the hype, all the camera, all this, and then he still, what he finished the year, 34% from three? That's not too shabby. It's not great in today's NBA, but for a 19-year-old kid to come in here and do that,
Yeah, but when you're
For a
talking
19-year-old
about
center,
when you're talking about that too, look at all the other phenomenal European basketball players that have came over and not had these issues. I think that's a poor thing to say because most of the league is dominating their European. They're from overseas.
Overseas basketball is way more advanced than over
college.
here.
Yeah.
And now, Bay, let me ask you this, because I'm on record saying within 5 years, the Spurs win the Western Conference. Camps is absolutely not a chance.
No chance.
That really comes down to ownership and GM and what they build around Wemby, because obviously they want Wemby there for 20 years.
Wemby is their piece. He's their Steph. He's their LeBron. He's their Giannis. They're going to build a team around him. It's the Spurs we're talking about. They're going to add pieces.
It's a nice place to go. Texas is nice. Texas are great.
Like I said, they've been in shambles since Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili retired.
Okay, that's hard to replace.
Shambles. They were somewhat decent when Kawhi Leonard was still there, but he stopped wanting to play for the Spurs because they weren't doing anything with the team.
They had one tank year to get Wemby.
Again, they were okay with DeJounte Murray. That wasn't good enough for them. So they traded him or released him or whatever.
DeJounte was not that piece.
He was like a 3-time All-Star.
But he wasn't that guy.
He was that guy you build a basketball team around.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
He would do well with Wemby.
They bring him back.
He is still one of the best two-way guards in the league, DeJounte Murray.
For sure.
What more do you want than an elite point guard? That's where your team starts. Your team doesn't start at center. It starts at point guard.
When you have a generational talent, it does.
Where'd the 76ers start?
And what have they done?
Not shit, but they started with the center. It wasn't bad.
Tobias Harris can't get the job done.
That's my point. If you start at center, you get a Joel Embiid, who's a terrible teammate.
Well, that's a character issue. That's not a skill issue.
But you also develop that character issue from being the only guy on the team for so long.
You become very selfish when you don't have a lot of help.
And right now, they're already having issues with the team they have now because nobody likes Victor because of the hype, and he has to play hero ball, so he's already developing bad habits from having a bad team around him. And he played hero ball in Europe in the EuroLeague too.
Do you think he's capable if someone else does come in, say a Murray or even a Young?
I think
do you think that he
strictly comes down to Greg Popovich,
that's
if he retires, whoever the coach is. I think they have to set him straight. Right now is the best time to do that.
While he's young.
Because you can develop that mentality now, and then it won't be an issue moving forward. But right now, they have no reason to develop that mentality. What's he going to do, pass the ball to Jeremy Sochan to airball a wide-open three? No.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. You're saying he's creating bad habits right now, playing hero ball because he is the only guy on the floor.
But also, I think that he's smart enough to know that that's a bad habit. I think if he knew he had better talent around him, he wouldn't still be this player.
It really depends.
I think he's very coachable, especially with probably the greatest coach of all time on his sideline.
Top 3 for sure.
I agree. But at the same time, the mentality of the league isn't championships anymore. It's supermax deals.
Oh, you're talking about the players?
Yes.
Yes, and I think we're, again, kind of starting to change away from that a little bit.
The only time players want championships is when they're 30 years old and have done nothing besides score 20 points and get 10 boards a game for 10 years.
I think that depends on the player, though, because how old is Anthony?
Anthony
Edwards?
22.
22. Now, do you think he wants a max deal, or do you think he wants a ring this year?
I think Ant's an exception because he is so stone cold and he knows he's going to get paid.
He's built different.
But yeah, that's a good way to
a
put
bad
it. Yes,
example.
he
He's
is
built
built different. Yeah. I think Wemby is kind of cut from that same cloth. I think he wants to win. He knows he's going to get paid.
Maybe.
I don't think he's going to go chasing supermax deals.
You think somebody told him at the beginning of the year, like, hey, buddy, these guys fucking suck. This is all you this year. Do what you want.
They didn't have to
I don't think so.
I think
Jeremy
Freddie knew
Sochan was the first person he saw after he got drafted. And now this guy hates him.
No, he already knew he was fucked when he met him.
Yeah, it's Sochan's fault.
Yeah.
I think a big part of the reason why they were nowhere near as good as they could have been this year is nobody else liked Wemby because they thought, we can be guys that can, put up numbers and get paid eventually when they're not.
And that's the other problem. You have no veterans on that team.
That's the biggest problem.
I think they're going to bring somebody in.
But who?
Doesn't matter who.
They need a
big
man.
There are very, very, very few guys in the NBA that would be willing to take that role of on-court coach.
That's why you bring in the one and only Alex Caruso.
I was gonna say I don't know what his contract's like. What about like if they can somehow acquire like Steven Adams or something, another big man to show him the ropes of the right way to play big man?
I think that'd be good, but I don't think he can play. Right now, he can't do that.
No.
Yeah, put on 20 pounds though. I think he definitely has the potential.
Yeah, agreed. But he's got to do that first. And so far, he has not changed his build whatsoever.
I don't know. He shut me up all year, proved me wrong.
Now, again, at the beginning of the year, I said he was a bust. After a month, I redacted that statement. All of my concerns from that month in to now have been the same.
The size. And the turnovers.
Yes.
The youthfulness, like he plays like, the inexperience.
Correct.
Well, it's partly that, and also the fact that he is 7'6", handling the ball, you're going to have more turnovers.
Agreed.
That's a part of being who he is.
But a lot of his turnovers are from when he turns around to back down. He can't do that. He's not big enough. He has to fade away. It's very easy to defend. He's not as versatile as he was in the European League because all these guys are so much bigger. So I don't know, and they have nobody for him to practice against. So that skill will never develop unless they bring somebody in that, even if it's a Steven Adams that they can get on a vet minimum just for a guy to practice against. But that part of his game will never develop because, one, there's not a 7-footer on every team. There's not a guy that's gigantic on every team.
I feel like there is, though.
What if they bring in a big man that, I don't know.
Not a guy that plays, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In that capacity.
So, like, when he gets up against Joel Embiid and he tries to back down like he's been doing to Jeremy Sochan in practice, it's not going to work. He's not going to move. So there's things that you need to, if you want this guy to be your face of the franchise, which they do, you have to sign Joe Schmoes that are 7'6" just for him to play in practice, to develop these fundamental skills that are going to get him to the next level and be able to compete with these other 7'3" centers that are massive. And until that happens, then that skill will never develop, and he'll be forced to continue to play how he plays. And the turnovers will continue because he's forced into that. With the ball out of his hand or not. His first instinct is going to be to put the ball on the ground because I know I'm faster than you.
I think come October, we'll reveal a lot more information about Victor's career going forward. I think they're going to make moves to bring in people that will help him develop a better team around him overall. And if they don't, then you're probably seeing his ceiling already.
But it comes down to ownership.
Yeah, I trust Pop. I trust the Spurs.
Again, I don't know. I don't think Pop will be the coach for 2 more years.
And if he's not, he's definitely going to put somebody in charge that he trusts and he signs off on.
Agreed. But then that respect builds all over again. As yes, he knows that they can fill his shoes. They're going to be one of the best coaches ever. But you still start at ground zero as that new coach. Because right now I don't think the Spurs respect Popovich as it is.
Which is crazy.
We mentioned that, being such a young team, even the entire season is like, I don't think these guys realize they're playing for Greg Popovich.
Right.
And we talked about, is Pop done?
So to me, if they won't respect Greg, what's the possibility of them respecting a veteran that comes in?
That's why they're all going to be moving. Like, nobody...
Yeah, those guys are bums. Fuck what they do. Like, they're not going to be on that team in the next 2 seasons. They're bums.
You're not keeping Sochan as a role player or a starter. He's going to be gone. All these guys are going to be gone.
They're going to be in that Europe League.
Maybe.
If they're good enough.
If they make the team.
But like I said, also, nobody's itching to play for the Spurs.
Not yet.
I don't know about that.
If that was the case, they would have had a team after Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan retired.
That was before Wemby got there.
But who didn't want to play with Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio?
Well, that wasn't Kawhi at the time.
Yes, it was. That was literally
the birth.
That was DPOY Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, DPOY.
And a guy who performed insanely in the finals and playoffs every time they went. Why would you not want to go play with him?
Locked up LeBron in 14.
Yeah, shut him down.
Yeah. Age 21.
They've had guys that, I need to go play with that guy, but people still don't go to San Antonio.
Until now.
And even look at Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker and all the teams they had. They were all drafted.
Well, yeah, who else do you need to sign to go play with those 3?
I know, but nobody was going in from the outside.
They weren't asking for anybody.
What do you mean? Like Danny Green?
I think Danny Green was drafted by the Spurs.
Yeah, they had to.
He didn't start moving. He didn't start moving around until after they all retired. Everyone started to leave. So now you have to completely rebuild that solid roster, and they only have one guy.
That's the beginning. This is where we're watching the start right now.
Like 6 years.
1 year with Wemby.
And they've only had 2 guys that anybody would want to play basketball with in those 6 years.
They've not drafted well, but this is a whole new start now.
They're magically going to start drafting well?
Not just about drafting.
And you're still missing the key piece of an offense. You're still missing that.
which they're going to bring in.
This offseason, they will get a point guard. I don't know if it's. I think it's going to be Trae Young, but they're going to get him help this offseason.
That'd be a big loss for them.
They might think it will work.
Are they a playoff team next year? Probably not still. But in the next 5 years, they're going
to be
to
a playoff team.
Western Conference Finals
Maybe.
team.
They will not be a conference finals team.
I would be impressed if they were. They will be a playoff team, but the West is
And honestly,
fucking good.
they may not even be a playoff team.
And the West
None
is
of
good.
these teams are going to get worse besides Phoenix and LA. So they might be an 8 seed.
2 seeds right there.
They'll be a 7 or 8 seed, which means they'll be a play-in team.
Sometimes that's all you need.
The Kings are getting better. The Pelicans are probably going to keep getting better.
Are the Kings getting better?
Are they?
They're the same team as the past 2 years.
They're going to get better.
That's the same thing I'm saying about the Spurs.
They missed the playoffs.
But the difference is this is a team that's already in play-in contention, not a team that had 15 wins.
Also a team that's not totally beginning a new start.
Right. So it's even harder for a new team that's getting a new start to be in the playoffs in a short amount of time. The only reason Oklahoma City did it is because they have 1 million draft picks. The Spurs just have the standard draft picks. They don't make trades.
What is the Kings' problem? Why didn't they make the playoffs?
Coaching.
That's a good-ass team.
It's partly coaching and partly just they're a step below all the other talent in the West.
I think it's mainly coaching. I think everything they have all the pieces to be successful,
sure.
but for some reason they can't play defense. They play such a weird offensive scheme. It's just weird basketball. And I love the guys that the Kings have.
For sure. They're too good not to be in the playoffs. That's why I don't understand.
But the West is also just too good.
Yeah, part of that is the West is just so fucking good.
That's why it's going to be tough for the Spurs. I will say that. The Western Conference, that would be impressive in less than 5 years for Wemby.
The Warriors are done. The Lakers are pretty much done.
Yep.
Lakers shouldn't have been a playoff team this year.
They got
honestly.
lucky. They got lucky because Zion got hurt.
Pelicans maybe not a playoff team next year.
They'll probably be a playoff team.
If Zion stays healthy, they will be.
I mean, how much longer do the Jokic Nuggets have?
Jokic can play basketball like this for 30 years.
He absolutely can, but I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he'll retire.
Wants to go ride his horses.
As long as those Supermax deals keeps coming, he'll stay on the court.
Nah, I don't think he cares about money.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but Jokic is a different breed, man.
They're a competitor. Even if he is treating it as a job, he's not at retirement age yet. What are we talking about?
Might walk away early.
No chance.
Suns are done. I have no faith in them.
They never started.
Clippers are on a short clock.
The problem with the Suns is they're going to perform in the regular season.
Maybe.
They will.
Outside of Minnesota, Denver for a few more years, OKC, of course.
Yeah, but you're pushing your timeline for the Spurs back by saying these teams have a few more years.
Which is why I said in the next 5 years, I think the Spurs make the Western Conference Finals.
To me, I'm saying that's the 5th year. There's
very well could be.
No way any year before that they're in the. Just saying. There's
we'll put
no
it
chance.
Put it on the Shane wall of takes.
We don't know who will sign there yet. Time will tell.
Maybe they draft Bronny.
Nobody's itching to go
and
to
then they bring in.
Maybe they trade for Caruso.
Good.
That's clearly
you draft
the first
Bronny and
move.
bring in LeBron and ruin your franchise, and then Victor Wembanyama's playing for the Pelicans.
Victor Zion duo? Question mark.
If they can stay healthy.
But that's the thing. If they don't have a successful team, I don't think Victor's a Spur in 5 years.
Yeah, if the next 5 years go terrible, then yeah, of course not. But I don't see why the next 5 years would go bad.
Because they have for the last 5 years?
No, the Spurs are the best run organization outside of what the Warriors did.
Minus
in
the
basketball.
last 5 years.
When did their losing seasons record end?
Dude.
It wasn't like 20-something seasons?
I think it was like last year when they
Wasn't it
tanked
last
for
year?
Victor.
Yeah. Yeah. It had to be. I think it was 22 years winning seasons.
Sure. That's just like the Steelers.
Very true.
Good
Playoff
job.
team.
You're winning regular season games and getting stomped in the playoffs.
Playoff team.
But now we've hit a new low where they have no players because nobody wants to play in San Antonio.
But who's had the opportunity? Wemby's only been there for one. Are you talking about just as a whole or
As
just
a whole.
this year?
Also, it's not like San Antonio's getting rejected. They weren't going for some of these guys.
And then they're giving away their talent.
DeJounte Murray,
Yes.
that was it. They didn't want to pay him. They knew he was not a piece of their future. Let him go. Then you get Wemby. You start a whole new team right now.
I think you're overestimating how much time it takes to build a team in the NBA.
Look what just happened. Look at the Thunder last year.
I mean, shit. Look at Anthony Edwards and
Even Minnesota.
Timberwolves.
Do you know what the difference between the Thunder and the Spurs are? About 35 draft picks.
Give or take, yeah.
That's the difference. The Spurs don't have draft capital like that. The Spurs aren't making moves to get Rudy Gobert. The Spurs aren't making moves to get anyone.
Because they didn't want those guys.
They haven't in the last 6 years. They've gotten
Your time
rid of
keeps getting
everyone.
longer and longer.
I think where we're getting confused is you're talking about the last 5 years. Me and Austin are talking about right now with Wemby. They are going
next
to
5
start.
years.
Yeah, they're going to start
Okay.
building around Wemby. Last 5 years don't matter.
The
The
really
reason
sucked.
being,
Yeah.
all of these conversations were happening about DeJounte Murray.
No, not even close.
Yes, they were.
To this comparison? To this level?
After his first year, yes.
No.
It was, they are going to
No.
build around this guy. They're going to be a competitive team again.
No.
And they wasted the first, 2 or 3 years of DeJounte Murray's career giving him no one to play basketball with.
What did he average? Wasn't
Were
it
they
like
not still a
22
playoff
and
team?
6? Yeah, they were a playoff team.
It doesn't matter. They weren't doing anything in the playoffs. Is getting to the playoffs the staple now?
With that team, yes.
When there's 8 spots available and now with the play-in even more?
When Murray is your best player, I think making the playoffs is very good.
Sure. I agree.
But that's as far. You think
But
Murray's
that's-
going to carry him to a finals?
No. But the point being is they didn't give him any help. They got rid of him.
Yeah, that was the decision they made. Do we build around this guy or trade him? And they decided to trade him. I disagree with it too. I really like him. I hope he comes back with Wemby, but
And I mean, there's nothing. And you're talking about this greatly run organization, which I agree in the past, but the decisions they've made in the last 6 years have been horrible. Besides drafting Wemby and drafting DeJounte Murray, those are the only 2 good decisions they've made as an organization.
I think it's a little harsh.
as a whole organization,
Yes.
All right, well, to get the
They couldn't even negotiate to keep Kawhi Leonard on the team.
Kawhi didn't want to be there.
Why?
and they didn't want to pay him.
That's probably why.
If the
That's
Spurs-
probably
if the
why.
Spurs-
So now you
wanted
run
somebody-
into an issue where you don't want to pay people when they're proven superstars?
That's fucked up.
So what's going to stop them from saying, oh, well, we don't want to pay Wemby?
Maybe they won't, but I
Oh,
think they know
we
now.
don't want to pay DeJounte Murray. Let's trade him while we can.
He's
His
their
draft
piece.
stocks, his stock's high. What's to say that Victor doesn't get built up over the next 3 years and they're like, we can't really build around this guy, so let's just trade him.
Did Murray have as much hype as Wemby?
Not as much hype, but he was an all-star player. He was Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He was, I think, either second team or third team all-defense.
I think it was second team.
And he was averaging like 20 points and two steals probably. But he was, one of the best two-way defenders in the league.
So his only strong year in San Antonio was 21 points a game, 2 steals, led the league, 7 boards, 9 assists. Great as a point guard.
Sure.
I think he'd be great to come back there now, which I'm still harping on. But after that, they knew they didn't want to pay him. Went to Atlanta, and we've seen what's happened there so far. I think you blame Trae Young a lot for that.
I think you can't mesh 2 point guards of this caliber together and have either of them be that successful. It's strictly coaching and play style.
If only one of those point guards went to Phoenix, who needs a point guard.
Trae Young wouldn't make the Suns any better.
They'd be better.
No.
Would Trae Young make any team better?
No.
That's-
Yeah, we are notorious Trae Young haters here, but the numbers, for some reason, keep proving us wrong. Like, the numbers on paper look great.
yeah, his numbers are great.
But-
What does your eyes
Yeah,
tell you,
we
though?
watch the games, right?
Yeah.
This guy's never going to be a
He
champion.
only passes when he has to.
And he's very good at that, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is
But
crazy because he
how-
averages like 9.8 assists a game.
Exactly. Yeah, you think like this guy's terrible.
Yeah.
He shoots like 60% from efficiency and it puts up 10 assists a game.
Sure. Yeah.
That's just, for me, those are like empty
But
stats.
they also traded
sure.
away all of their talent last year, too. And none of those guys went to the Spurs,
Yeah.
knowing they were going to draft Wemby. That's fucking crazy.
Because the Spurs didn't want
That's
any of
They
those
didn't want
guys.
those
dude.
trash ass.
So, yeah, I guess we're just waiting for guys that the Spurs want, which
all you can
obviously in the last 6 years has been not a single player in the NBA.
6 years, 10 years? What was it?
It's 6.
12?
2018 was the year that Kawhi was with the Raptors, right? The first the
No,
championship
it was
year?
2017.
18,
No,
19?
yeah, it was 2018. You're right.
And it's 2024? That's 6?
Yep.
So I guess we could say
10.
7.
7 years.
Round up to 10. Why not? Now, to make things even more heated, the last thing I know Baylen wanted to take issue with was your stance on Kobe being Bryant.
I don't understand the overrated. Yeah, I know you say the most missed shots or whatever. 20 seasons will do that. You will have the most missed shots if you play 20 years. I know Tim Duncan didn't, but he was Mr. Efficient.
Why does he stand out amongst every other guy that's played 20 years by a significant
I
margin?
mean, Jordan LeBron
Who?
was right there, too.
Kobe.
Why does he stick out?
Why does he stand out and miss shots?
Well, he's a shooting guard.
And, again, I love Kobe Bryant.
I-
The only reason I say he's overrated is because I say he's not a top 3 player of all time.
Well, of course not.
That was my stance.
So he's overrated because he's not top 3?
And everyone's saying he's top 3 now because he's dead.
Who are these everyone?
The media, it's all over the place. As when he died, it's maybe it's fizzled down.
Well, yeah, I completely.
But when
he was being
died-
called the GOAT when he died.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm like, no, you could keep him out of your top 10 and nobody should be upset.
Which we did. I mean, I think he made my 8 spot, give or take.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know if
mean,
he'd be in my top 10.
Yeah.
But
and
overrated.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why he's overrated, is because he died. Like, that's when everybody started overrating him. I think he was properly rated up until that point. And most people had him in their top 15, borderline top 10. When he died, it was, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. No questions asked. And I'm
Well,
like,
that argument was always there, just based on mentality and play style.
well, that's
Kobe was the closest thing to Jordan. Well, besides Anthony Edwards. But we'll
Mirror.
see how that
Besides
goes.
Caruso.
Well,
mirroring someone's play style and being the same player are very different. Yes, Kobe did his best to mirror Jordan. Agreed. And he was very talented at what he did. But there was a lot of things that Jordan did that Kobe couldn't do. Kobe couldn't play defense.
well, Jordan was playing
my
against
God.
plumbers. Jordan was playing against plumbers. Kobe wasn't.
Hold on a minute. Oh, wait. You say Kobe
And
couldn't play
yes,
defense?
I agree. Jordan was playing plumbers. I'm on the same page
Yes.
with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's been noted for sure. But to say Kobe couldn't play defense is a little absurd.
His entire defensive scheming was intercepting passes.
That's pretty damn good defense.
Anything else was a liability.
You think Kobe couldn't face guard?
No, he was not very good at it. He played in passing lanes. He hardly ever face guarded
His 12-time all-defensive team.
because of steals
I mean, again, steals is a pretty big part of
and
defense.
pass interceptions.
Rudy's only
But
won
if you-
Defensive
if-
Player
if-
of the Year because of the blocks.
If you jump that pass and the guy cuts back door, congratulations, you gave up 2 points.
Ah, man, I don't know about that.
I mean, certainly Kobe's not known for his defense. But 12-time all defense, that's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Just in terms of missed shots, real quick, the top 10 all time: Kobe, LeBron, Havlicek, Karl Malone, Dirk, Carmelo, Kareem, Jordan, Vince Carter.
Jordan being at 9 is actually pretty impressive.
He only
That's
played
very-
13. He only played 13 seasons.
But it's also very efficient because he was scoring champ, 6 times?
yeah, 6 times.
I mean, Kobe was what, 4-time?
Well, he's also most missed shots of all time.
Well, give it a season. LeBron
That's
will
what I'm
pass.
saying. Like
Isn't LeBron only like less than 100 behind him? LeBron will pass him.
LeBron is 5 shots behind Kobe.
Okay. So.
checks out.
Yeah, first
LeBron
game next
also not the most efficient, especially when he started shooting threes.
Yeah, that's why I don't think missed shots is really that big of a deal. These guys played 20-plus years. You're going to miss shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when your whole game is offense, it's kind of crucial for you not to be missing shots. And look at his percentages that he shot.
No, Kobe was inefficient. That was my
Yeah,
main
that's-
point I made.
that's
when we
saying.
made our top 10
That's
list.
his biggest flaw.
Yeah,
was the
that's
inefficiency.
part of reason why I'm saying he's the most missed shots of all time is because he was not as efficient as everyone makes him out to be.
Anybody that knows ball knows Kobe was not efficient.
Nobody in the media knows ball. That's how I
Agreed.
That's
Well,
how
it's the
I
same
do
people
my,
in the media after he died, putting him at number 2, number 1. It's the
that's
people in
how
the
I
media.
do my overrating.
Yeah,
because
they don't know
that's who
basketball.
everyone listens to.
For sure. They were overrating him. The
That's
real,
how people develop their opinions, is listening to what these guys on TV are saying.
not us,
So you should be listening to Sports and Stogies for their
for sure.
In
takes.
my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he did die. It was very sad, but it doesn't make him
Doesn't
jump
change your
players on the
standing.
list.
Yeah,
Like, his
it
stats
doesn't.
are still his stats.
Yeah. He was retired
Yeah.
when he
No.
died. So he wasn't going to get any better.
Unless he was planning on a Michael Jordan return at age 42.
I don't think we missed out on Kobe being a coach. If
Man.
anything, he definitely would have coached and probably would have been. An
I think he
excellent
did.
coach.
I think he coached his daughters, right?
Well, I mean, NBA.
Well, I'm
whatever.
saying
You think
Yeah,
he'd
he
coach in the
definitely-
NBA?
I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
Player-coaches don't ever work
Well,
out,
the only
dude.
problem is,
You kidding me? Jason Kidd was awesome.
The only awesome thing Jason Kidd's ever done is spilled his coffee to get a timeout.
which is a great move.
Yeah, that was genius.
It was.
Yeah, I think Kobe just would have been. He would have expected players to be like him, like work ethic and mentality wise, which with today's players, I don't think would go over too well.
I think Kobe would have coached 1 year before he decided he was never going to coach in the higher leagues ever again. I think he'd be a great college coach.
Yeah, but if you talk about Kobe's efficiency and how many he shot, a quote he said was he would watch his teammates party the night before, and he'd say, "Why the fuck would I pass him the ball when I'm putting up shots last night and he's partying? Why the fuck would I pass him the ball?"
Hey, good
Makes
for him.
good sense.
But at the same time, that's the same guy we're talking about that got waved off by Jeremy Lin.
Oh, come on, man. That was Lynn Sanity. Who the fuck was guarding that?
Was that not the wildest 2 months in NBA history?
Dude.
No, that was the wildest moment in NBA history is Jeremy Lin waving Kobe Bryant off when Kobe's telling you to pass him the ball.
He's lucky he made that, or else he would have got knocked the fuck out on the court. He's
The
lucky he
same
made it.
reason why Chris Paul never went to the Lakers while Kobe was there.
Well, because the league denied it.
That and because they would have been fist fighting in the middle of at half court by the second quarter of every game.
Do you guys know why the league denied that?
Oh yeah,
The-
we covered that.
The
They were scared it would pretty much keep building the super team thing.
yeah, the
They
Hornets they were owned by the NBA.
That's it. Yeah. And the NBA was like, no, we don't want to do that trade.
these
So
guys-
the NBA declined
Yeah,
that
it's like
trade.
these guys would be too good if we
Yeah.
put Chris Paul in the Lakers.
And
which
then
is-
it was the
sort of-
Hornets at the time, right?
Yeah,
The Hornets would just be dog shit. And it would
Yeah.
just
which I mean they already were.
And now we're at the point where the New Orleans Hornets or the New Orleans Pelicans, which were the Hornets, are dog shit, and the Charlotte Hornets
don't forget them
are dog
Bobcats.
shit,
Don't
which
forget
were
them
also the
Charlotte Bobcats.
which were terrible.
The whole they
Aw,
just
dude,
need
put
to
some
move.
respect on Corey Maggetti's name, dude.
Oh, Spaghetti is my guy, dude. He had a Ruby card in 2K19 on my team, and I just balled out with that thing, dude.
Bae, do you have any more bones to pick with Cam here?
I think that was it. Just those three.
Have
Other
I,
than that, we agree on
have I
everything.
made my case?
You made a case. It wasn't the winning one, but you made a case.
Wasn't the winning one to you.
No,
We'll let the fans decide.
to the people. Other than that, we agree on everything. Great choice in NFL teams. You're a LeBron guy.
Do you guys want to cover the Deshaun Watson contract?
We fucking lost. That's.
I think Cam's come around to that.
We did, but
What do you
if he can play like he did his last full season, I wouldn't say it's a complete loss.
It is possible that the trade could be a win-win for both sides.
It could be. Right now, it's not, but 5 years from now, it could be.
Browns got two
Since
Super Bowls.
that's the where we like to go. 5 years from now, it could be absolutely a
Let's see how they build around Deshaun Watson.
5 years
Team's
from now,
already there.
5 years from now, it could be a win-loss because the Texans did use one of those draft picks to trade for Stephon Diggs,
Oh,
and that's where
Oh,
franchises
God,
starts to
no.
Still
that's,
hate.
that's
Team
where
ruiner.
franchises start to crumble
I
right
really
there.
still hate that.
it's gross.
Baylen is a known Joe Woods lover, though.
That's not true. That's not true.
I made that
Come
up.
on, come on.
I was
Come on
gonna
now.
run you over.
Come on now.
with my wife's car.
Don't get me started.
as soon as we left. this
I'd run
place.
him over with my car.
I don't think Joe Woods'
Allegedly.
wife is even a Joe Woods lover, if he is married.
Hell no, who would marry
Can't
that
be
fucking
after
bum?
that travesty that happened in Cleveland.
Jackass. He was dog shit.
Babe, favorite Browns player of all time? Again, as a lifelong fan that you are.
As a lifelong fan, like I've been, my favorite Browns player of all time, it's hard not to say Nick Chubb. I mean, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I really liked Myles Garrett. I like Ward a lot. He's
Have
probably
you
my
been a fan for like 3 years?
2017 is when I started liking the Browns.
so let's rewind.
Let's
there.
talk about that.
Yeah, what
You were a
What got the ball rolling?
I
on
was
that
a
jumping ship?
Bengals fan.
Okay.
My family was mostly Bengals fans.
so you did this as a rebellious move.
Well, I did it because I noticed that the Bengals owners don't give a fuck about the Bengals. So I went to a Browns game with my dad, and he was like, "This is the way of life." I was like, "You're fucking right, it is." So I walk in there, everyone's woo, 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 woo. I was like, "This is my team." I'm
Going
ride
to
or
a
die.
Browns game can
the best.
definitely turn you.
In the game I went to, they were playing the Bills. Early Josh Allen, bad Josh Allen.
The one we should have drafted.
Yes. They won in like the final minute of it, and place went ape shit. And then you take the train back. That's when I knew I was going to be a Browns fan forever. But yeah, it was just the Bengals being so dog shit all my life, and then they go to a Super Bowl a couple of years later. I was like,
Fluke.
I'm the catalyst.
yeah, I was like, I'm the reason they did that. But
And the only NFL team that actually owns the rights to their stadium being the Cleveland Browns Stadium. So,
is that right?
yeah.
I didn't know that. The dog.
Oh,
pound.
you come to SNS to learn facts.
That's why I listen.
Yeah, I think
for
they
the
went
facts.
back last year or the end of the last season. I can't remember. Or no, I think it was like midway through.
Yeah, I think
season.
we covered that.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, the Cleveland Browns Stadium hosting SummerSlam this year.
No
Can't wait
kidding.
for that
Which
WWE
you'll be in attendance
episode.
for.
You got tickets to it?
The tickets go on sale Thursday,
When is it? Like August?
August 3rd,
August
the day
3rd.
after the Creed concert.
So yeah, he's going Creed and then SummerSlam the
You
next day.
What a fucking weekend.
yeah,
Summer
pretty stoked.
99, baby.
Man.
Sucks you're going to miss Creed, though.
Yeah,
But
it sucks.
more
Are you
important
having
things.
a kid
let's
or
just
something?
let's just pop this baby out. Maybe I'll still make it.
You
I don't
having a
know.
kid or something? When's your kid due?
Like the day of the concert.
He's
I think.
due. I think it's either the 2nd or the 4th. It's that weekend he's
Yeah.
due. But
Well-
my first one was born 2 weeks early. So if he's born 2 weeks early,
You're still making it.
I might try to sneak out.
Well, God, I already sold your tickets.
Oh well,
There's
I guess
probably,
I'll hang out with my newborn.
There's probably still some more available if need be.
You can get scalpers there day of if need be.
Yeah, it sucks that I have to miss it, but it's for a good reason.
I mean, hey, Courtney and Aaron might bounce anyway.
It's
so.
an okay reason.
It's a reason. I'll take back.
Like
It's a good reason.
Creed reuniting, baby born. It's not like it's your first kid.
I've told
you know?
Riss, let's just bring him. Like,
I said from the beginning, what better way for your son to be born in the world?
Arms wide
than
open.
With arms wide open.
that's beautiful.
I mean, come on.
Beautiful.
You can't top that.
Riss is just spread eagle giving birth while it's going on, dude.
And we're all
Singing
just,
along, of course.
I'm catching the baby.
With legs wide open. Under all the sunlight. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. Take a quick break here. We come back, wrap up shop, baseball, UFC, the usual segments. Episode 82 back after this. This is what, 2020, right?
Yeah, it was the no 19.
Was it
Was it
19?
COVID?
I think it was
we weren't wearing masks.
No, because Joey got the weed
weed.
mask.
Yeah,
since
you're right.
2020.
Yeah.
Like October 2020.
I don't remember wearing masks anywhere.
We
Though. That's
weren't.
weird.
It's Tennessee, dude.
Ah,
Come on.
that's true. Anyways, so Joey and Austin had fallen asleep. So it was me, you, and Jake.
This is second night down there. Falling asleep is putting it nicely. Car was passed the fuck out.
We
on
won't
the
go into
ground.
detail about why they were asleep.
Yeah, it's
but
late. It's me, you, and Jake.
we go down the pool, hang out, starts pouring. We're like, all right, let's go back in. It's 3 a.m. And we pass a vending machine. So obviously we're like, let's get some snacks. We get some snacks. We turn. And there's one of those things you put your luggage on. What are they called?
I got a luggage cart.
Luggage cart. And I think was it you or
It
Jake?
was me. I'm like, hey, Baylen, you should, because it was a stairway, but the first level was a ramp. I'm like, Bay, you should.
Were you guys staying in a hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who stays in hotels at Gatlinburg?
We didn't have a timeshare.
Just get an Airbnb.
That was 5 dudes, man. We did that. That
Cabin
also,
is so much more fun.
It is. We've done that too,
Even
We
with
have
5
done
dudes.
that too.
which is also fun. And
This was our
different
first
ways.
trip
This is our
as
first
the guys.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
as a
gotcha.
5-some.
Yeah.
We were still new to the lifestyle.
Yeah, first out of state getaway.
So Hayes is like, Baylen, why don't you get in that thing? I'm going to push you down this ramp. And I was like, dude, let's do it.
Level of intoxication.
Let's see. Honestly, maybe a 7.
We
Wasn't
weren't
even that bad.
hammered.
No.
I remember all of
Wow.
it. So
Wow.
Yeah,
no
no blackouts.
I openly did it.
Okay.
We were
So-
babysitting a couple other drunk fellas.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. So
So you needed your fun.
we get to the top of the ramp. I'm in it. I'm holding the bars. And
Standing up.
No, I'm on my ass and my feet are in front of me.
Okay.
Hayes, very strong guy, pushes me down it.
Aggressively.
I'm fucking flying. I'm like, this is going to be loud, so I got to get ready to run because everyone's going to hear this shit. I smash into the wall. But what had happened was when I smashed into the wall, my foot had slid down and went in between the cart and that wall. So it just smashed my big toe.
Foot first.
Makes the big thud. So I'm like, fuck. Let's just run. I don't
And
even
as
feel
soon
the
as I
thing.
pushed Baylen, me and Jake will run up to the room.
Yeah, so I
So we
tur-
didn't see the impact.
Is it just a wall at the end of the ramp?
It's like a
Pretty much.
wall right next to the vending machine, to where there should be another one, but there wasn't one. It's
So,
just
like-
a wall.
This was a disaster from design.
Of course.
As soon as we
I mean,
saw
as
the
long as
cart.
you keep your feet in the cart,
There,
that's
there
what
was
happened.
there was nowhere to lose speed.
No.
Like,
Ramp,
It was
wall.
ramp, slight sidewalk, and then wall.
Okay, yeah.
So my foot smashes. I don't even have time to feel it because I look back. It's just me. I got to start running. Well, as I'm running, I look down and I see blood shooting out of my toe. So I'm like, fuck. So I get up to the room. We're all laughing and shit. And I look down and my big toenail is open like a book. So it's halfway up like that. So I'm like, yeah, we just got to rip this thing off. So I took a deep breath, bit the towel, and I ripped it off as hard as I could. And dude, all the nerves in my body shook. And us being slightly intoxicated, we were like, fuck, we need to put alcohol on this so it doesn't get infected. I put Crown Apple right in.
So, in the 5 minutes between getting back to the room and pulling the nail off, we took video, of course. It's us trying to hype up Baylen, and you poured at least 3 shots of Crown on it before ripping it off.
Mm-hmm. And then ripped it off. Had to do one more to get the other side that I had not been able to get. And that was some of the craziest pain I had ever. It was like my nerves like wrenched.
Sounds awful.
Thank you, Captain.
I couldn't watch it. I still have the video. I can't watch it now. One of the most brave and honorable things I've ever seen another man do, really.
And then the other
And of course,
two.
he's like,
There was no questions from the hotel why there was blood trails to the room.
no,
wasn't
but
us.
there was like a very bloody towel, and from other guys, a couple vomit stains. So I left a 20 with a note that said, what's thank you in Spanish?
Gracias.
Yeah.
I left a note that said gracias.
Why'd you assume it was Spanish?
I'd seen him before.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Come on now.
So yeah, and then I wake up the next day, and our buddy Joey, who had already passed out, he goes, "Dude, where's your fucking toenail?"
He's like, why is there Crown all over the floor?
That was his first. We wasted Crown?
Yeah.
Which, knowing Joey, is exactly what he would say.
Baylen took 3 shots of Crown. That's what
Yeah,
he
the
would say.
opening line of the video is Bay on the floor on the bathroom tile saying, guys, this is why you don't drink with Jake and Hayes. That's why you don't do it.
Yeah, always get hurt.
And then 5 minutes go by of us trying to hype him up. He's like, do one of you guys want to cut it? I'm like, Bay, dude, I can't. There's no way.
Because I wanted to cut it down. I was just going to leave half of it. Nobody would help me cut it. So I was like, well, let's just get rid of
Gotta
this
go.
whole thing.
How long
Yes.
did it take for the nail to regrow?
I'm not even joking. Like a year and a half.
Oh my
It
God.
took so long. And to be honest, it's still not the same color as the other 9. It's still not the same color. I got discoloration.
If anything, it's probably need the other ones ripped off.
And that wasn't the only injury on that trip. The night before, I'd gotten hammered
Dude.
at the one bar in Gatlinburg.
There's more than one.
There's 2. We got kicked out of the first one.
Did you go to the one up top bar?
No.
Or was that not open yet?
I don't. Probably seasonal. I don't think we went up there.
It's open in the fall.
That is when we went. We went in like October.
We went
I
to
believe.
I forget what it's called, like Putties or Pubbies, and then Shamrock.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, Shamrock's upstairs. It's a rooftop bar now.
Did they have it?
not at the time then.
Yeah.
'Cause we were definitely at
they
Shamrock.
moved it to the top floor of that building.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Hey, we're due for a new trip then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like midnight. We were closing up shop. I'm like, yeah, I'll see you guys back at the hotel. It was like a mile walk, right? I of course got detoured somehow, and I'm walking in the woods behind people's yards and shit. Fought a tree and lost.
The woods.
Yeah. Again, a detour.
What hotel?
No. He was fucking gone.
Yeah,
like
we were out.
Here's the strip.
I took
Next
a
street over
Yeah,
is
'cause
our
the
hotel.
hotels are right on the
Yes.
right off the strip.
Yeah, that's where we
as long
were.
as
You
stay-
were in bear territory.
Yeah,
There, I could have been attacked by a bear.
for sure.
Yeah, maybe I was. But I definitely fought a tree. Got a significant cut on the forehead.
You headbutted a tree.
It headbutted me, really. Kind of a sucker punch, uncalled for.
I believe it.
But yeah, I got back and I'm dripping blood in my face. And Jake's like, dude, who'd you fight? Where's he at, man? Let's go get him. I'm like, dude, calm down. I just fell. It's not a big deal. He's like, no, dude, come on. What's up? Tell us the truth. Who'd you fight?
I was like, dude, I'll be honest. I was in the woods. I
Our
don't,
first thing next morning, we walked down to Walgreens. And I get a bunch of gauze and tape because my hand was all cut up.
yeah.
Uh,
And then
put-
you had deja vu.
Put the bandana on. Deja vu for.
You saw the tree.
No, I, I couldn't tell you where that tree was at. Not a chance. That was one of the first trips we took after we had kind of reconnected.
That was the first
Because
trip.
yeah, we played ball together growing up, and then
Mhm.
after graduation, probably like a year or two off. Like
Mhm.
we really didn't see each other across the board.
Yeah, you're still trying to figure out what the hell you're gonna do with life.
Oh yeah,
So
Still is.
for sure,
never-ending
I
journey.
don't think that ever stops.
Yeah,
Right when you
And,
think you got to figure it out, shit flips
yeah.
upside down.
We left here at like 5 a.m. to head down there. Long weekend, great time. We had 5 dudes, 2 rooms, 4 beds. So one dude bought like 2 air mattresses, but then the pump didn't work, or the pump didn't come with it.
Yeah, it didn't come with it.
So we just put 2 chairs together, slept on that, and the second night, of course, we just passed out on the floor.
Yeah.
Why
we had
did you not
probably
just share a bed?
well, Baylen kind of did with Joey the first night.
No, you hang on now.
No, that's true.
I had fallen asleep in my bed.
So wait. There was an open bed.
We have adjoining rooms, 4 beds, 5 dudes.
There was an open bed and someone still slept on 2 chairs put together?
There was not an open bed. There was 5 of us, 4 beds.
Well, there would have been, but Joey moved the first night.
Oh,
That's true.
okay.
Yeah. I don't
Hold a hole, dude. Get over it.
still don't know why. Well, I fell asleep by myself and I woke up to him laying next to me. I was like,
Was it
No.
hold a hole?
No, he wasn't laying next to you. He was laying on your lap.
okay, don't do this. He was very close to me in a weird way, and he was like, bro, I don't know, I fucking passed out here. I'm like, I don't.
He lost.
dude.
I guess I got to tell this one too.
You
He
keep
lost
him
an
going.
earring somehow, which
Okay.
is bizarre enough by itself.
That happens all the time.
So probably 4, 5, 6 in the morning, sometime that night, the dudes that we were throwing cornhole with downstairs start fucking banging on our door, and I'm the only guy awake. I'm like, holy shit, this got to be like the CIA. Dude, the cops coming after us.
Tripping.
So I go lock all the doors. I put a chair up.
You didn't look to
blocking.
the people?
No, of course not. I'm freaking out, dude.
There could be a
I'm trying
gun
to
on the other
save these
side.
boys. I'm thinking we're gonna get violated or something. So I put a chair up in front of each door, and I'm walking to each bed. I'm like, guys, dude, get up. We might have to fight. Might have to fucking fight our way out of this. Get ready. Of course, nobody wakes up.
Austin's like, come on, guys. You guys got to fight out of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hide. And then of course nothing happens. And the next morning, the dude comes up and he's like, "Yeah, I got one of your earrings." And Joey's like, "Oh shit, that's mine."
Yeah,
And
somehow
we still don't know how Joey lost the earring and how this guy got it.
and how he knew it was Joey's, and then
I have a couple guesses. But
Well,
I'll
we
keep
have our
those
own
to
theories.
myself.
Yeah.
left it on the bedside table.
Something like that, yeah.
Wild trip. Hey, give us your best mail delivering story, because there's got to be a lot of things that
I
on
see
a daily route in your area.
I see a lot of stuff. A quick little one I saw that was pretty crazy. I was delivering mail and I was directly across the street, and I hear this couple arguing. So I stop and I'm just like, what's going on?
You're gonna eavesdrop, of course.
Of course, I'm looking at the mail, but I'm actually listening. And the guy's like, "Get your ass back here, bitch!" And I was like, "Oh fuck!" And the lady's like, "Get away!" And she's running back into the home. This dude goes behind her, full shove to her shoulder blades. She goes through the glass door, shatters Stone Cold
Holy
Steve
shit.
Austin through the glass door. I just kept moving. I don't know what to do. I was so fucking scared.
Yeah, I mean, if the neighbors aren't calling the police, why should I? What's really
I'm not
going
a
on
big
here?
guy.
Look, if I
That
quit-
lady was the same size as me.
If I
and he
quit
just
delivering my
managed-
mail, things might break loose here. I got to keep on my job.
Yeah, so that was a little one. I was just like, fuck. Well,
That's a little one?
dude. Here's my big
Again,
one.
he delivers in Dayton, man. Come on.
Oh, true.
Here's my big one. I'm delivering this house. Deliver it. And as I'm walking to the next one, probably 5 steps away from it, look down the street. Cop car, cop car, cop car, cop car, SWAT truck, SWAT truck. I'm like, oh, fuck, the SWAT team. They're going to the house I'm delivering.
Oh, shit.
They're going to that house. So I'm in front of this house, and they're like, get the fuck out of the way. Move, move, move. That's one half. I start, and the other half is like, don't fucking move. Stay right fucking there. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You're just
So I-
holding your mail bag on your shoulder.
Yeah, so I just kept going. I was like, if they shoot the mailman, that's on them.
Yeah, you're a federal employee.
Yeah, so I just kept moving. They're like, get the fuck out of this area. I'm like, why are they being so mean to me? I was like, I'm the fucking mailman. Turns out, dude had his family hostage in that house.
Oh, shit.
Turns out, they ended up killing that guy. They had to kill that guy in the front yard. I just kept it moving. That's rule number 1. You just keep it moving.
So you delivered the last piece of mail to a victim.
Safe to
Some to say.
Safe to say he didn't receive that mail.
Clearly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was probably the craziest because that was so fucking scary. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. So that's probably the scariest story I have delivering mail.
Jesus.
Any serious dog incidents or attacks?
Well, that's
Yeah.
only DP&L guys.
I've had a pit bull bite my bag before, but it ripped a hole in my bag, and then by then its owner came and snatched him up. But other than that, no problems with dogs.
Because you're a walker, no truck, right?
Nope, I walked the entire day. So luckily, no
How do you
dog
get
problems.
promoted to truck?
You just have to do the time, and then you get a route to where you
Oh,
get that.
yeah.
That's called like mounted. That's where you drive up to each place. It's way nicer.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, don't you drive a mail truck out though? And
Yeah,
just
yeah.
park it somewhere.
Yeah, and then
Is
I
that
walk.
weird? Is driving a mail truck weird?
It's
backwards, right?
kind of like these earphones. You just get used to it after a minute. That's
Fair
exactly
point.
what it's like. It's like,
Fair
man,
point.
this is fucking.
Because you're on
weird,
the
and then you
you're in
forget.
the right side of
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
European style.
That'd be so weird.
It is weird at first, and then what's even weirder is when you get off and then you get back in your car, and then you're
Yeah.
just like fucking in the right lane because you're all off. That's the weirdest.
Is there a like a driver's test for mail trucks?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You
I
have
was gonna
to.
say, as long as they don't just throw you in
That's
there.
actually a great question. Yeah, what was the whole process like of getting that job?
You get hired, and then it's like 3 days of classroom. They tell you this is mail. You put it in the mailbox. You go to the next house and do that. That's it. And then you do 2 days of the driving in that LOV. And there's also a different vehicle. I don't know if you guys have seen them, the big old ones. They kind of look like the
Yeah.
Amazon ones.
Yeah.
You got to practice driving that for a day. And then they send you out. You do 1 day walking with somebody. And you don't do any work. You just walk and watch them. And then you're on your own. That's the process. So it takes about a week, and then you're on your own.
So when you go in for like first thing in the morning, is there like already a mail bag set aside for you and your route? Do you have to go get the mail yourself? How is it all organized? Because I'd be like, I'm giving people the wrong mail left and right.
This is going to be tough to explain. So there's a case with every address on your route. And then there's mail right here. That's called your DPS mail. That's mail that is all sorted through a machine in order of your route. So that's mail you don't even have to worry about
That's
because
nice.
it's already in order. It's like AES bills, Centerpoint, that
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
And then what you do with the other magazines and stuff, that's what you put in your case and organize it. And then you just put that with your mail down here, and then you go. But like your bag and stuff, that just sits at your case.
You don't run into it getting mixed up at all. How do you prevent that?
What, like your mail getting mixed up?
Yeah, so like when you put it in your bag.
Yeah, I'm sure shit happens, right?
Oh, like when you're walking.
Yeah.
Nah, you keep it all in order because like a machine runs it, so it's
Sure.
already in order. And then your magazines, as you're casing, it's in order. So you just stick your magazines on one side, and then your bills on the other side. And then so say like 500 is the address. That's the bill. You look on the back. Oh, they got a magazine too. But then the next house is like 502. They got a bill. They don't got a magazine. You just give them their bill, and that's how you do it. It's pretty easy.
Any holiday tips that you've gotten? Because growing up, my parents are always like, "Oh, it's Christmas. Let's tip the mailman."
Well, that's very sweet. But no, like I said, I work in West Dayton. The
I
biggest.
know in the summertime, my grandma leaves out like a little cooler with like water and chips and stuff.
She's a great lady.
Yeah.
I've
well,
only
my
seen.
grandpa was the president of the postal union for like 20 years.
No shit.
So
Yeah, that goes deep. We can get into that.
I don't know
off
if
air.
it was actually that long, but he was definitely
That's still crazy
for
to
like
even
10
get.
years.
That's
I think.
even crazy to get that position.
Well, it was kind of a front for some
Yeah.
other things, allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that off air.
Okay, good. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's super easy. The hardest part is just the walking, and then like weather, climate.
Nah, man, I actually kind of envy that because our job is so lazy.
Your
I
job.
definitely miss the
Your job.
the physical aspect.
Yeah,
I do quite a bit of walking.
aren't you guys lifting those pieces?
He
I mean,
is.
maybe once every
I don't,
4 or
I don't
5
really-
hours.
You do it.
I
more?
kind of got off the floor.
Okay.
He's got a a white collar gig now.
Yeah,
Oh, went from blue to white.
yeah. That's the proper.
He
escalation.
has to wear a tie every day.
No, you do not.
No, I don't.
I was gonna say, dude, you are not a tie guy.
This is
Man.
pretty much what I wear.
Formal as it
Something
gets.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get sometimes I get jealous of jobs inside because nothing like driving to work when it's fucking storming and thundering and you're like, nice, can't wait to get out in that, and then you're just wet from 9 a.m. to like
Yeah,
7 p.m.
It's tough. Sometimes the AC only goes to 70 degrees, so it gets a little warm in there. Sometimes they kind of run out of your favorite snack in the cafeteria.
No, I get
No,
that
it.
gets
they
rough.
actually prevent from putting his favorite snacks back in the cafeteria.
What
once they
is your
find out.
favorite snack?
I'm going to take 5 all day, every day.
Ooh.
They don't restock them anymore.
Gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Gone.
What was it before that? Wasn't there a drink or something?
We had a run of Kinder Bueno.
Yeah, Kinder
for a
Bueno
while.
bars are good. They don't restock those anymore.
Uh,
There was a Pringles, I thought.
Oh yeah, just cheese Pringles.
Yeah, they don't restock the cheese, only barbecue and onion now.
So they find out what you like and then just cut off the supply.
Clearly, and the worst thing of all, they took our remote away from the TV up front.
Why?
Exactly.
Who's they?
The powers that be.
Probably because of him, actually.
I was a significant.
TV enthusiast.
I was a user.
Watching
He
a
was
little
an
too much TV.
enthusiast.
But hey, my machines are running, so I don't see the big deal, right?
So when you guys get to work, what do? You just hop on your... Well, I know you guys have different positions now. So what do you guys do now?
Well, usually I get there and try to wake up a little bit. Have a
He
little
usually
meeting.
starts with a snack.
Usually go, beef stick and a protein bar.
Nice.
And then figure out what game's on that night, what I need to watch on my phone, and do minimal work for the most part.
Nice. Now, do you guys do 8 or 10?
We do
12.
12.
Nice.
Yeah, we're 6 to 6.
Damn.
But it goes quick, because I got TB. We're all pretty tight in our crew, so
TB,
it's a fun
TV.
time.
Having work friends is...
Oh, huge.
Pretty
Otherwise, I'd probably
undefeated.
quit. It's so
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to make do.
Now, do you do something different?
Yeah.
Well,
So
again, with the whole tie job.
When I come in, I have a pass down with my counterpart, and then I do a morning walkthrough of my area, and then I have to go to my project assignment and spend most of the night there. But I still have so I do like any of the rejected parts they go through me, like whether they can be fixed or they're scrap. And that's like now it was the only part of the job, and now that's like a little part of the job, and now it's mainly project based. But I'm an engineering technician.
Oh, shit.
Which sounds a lot more important than it actually is.
It's pretty important now.
Sounds badass.
We're catalysts of a lot of changes being made.
And you kind of oversee a crew, right?
I wouldn't say I oversee. I say I work with them and am their support. If
You help
needed.
out.
But you're in charge of them?
He pretty much is.
They listen to
No,
you?
I'm not in charge of
They
them.
listen.
They act like I'm in charge of them.
Oh,
But
you're in
when
charge.
we're both sitting there like I can't make that decision, then nobody's in charge.
It's a good gig. I definitely cannot complain. But nowhere near as good as doing radio full time, which is the ultimate goal.
Is that the goal?
Or being a cigar salesman.
Yeah, that's also in talks.
Is that the goal for this podcast to get huge? Is that
I
what
mean,
you guys wanna
ideally,
do?
that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, if we weren't pieces of shit and would advertise
Yeah,
it,
if we actually put a little bit of work in.
How much money would it take for you guys to quit and start doing the podcast?
I would say it would have to be a salary match.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah.
How do you think you get that? Getting ads?
Starting by getting cameras for actual
Well,
YouTube
yeah,
and clips on TikTok and stuff.
Well, a lot of podcasts started off just like this, and they got ads.
Dude, Matt and Shane were just
And-
audio with nobody listening to for like 200
Absolutely.
episodes.
Advertising, but Matt and Shane are also full-time comedians.
Correct.
And
That helps
are-
out a little bit.
We're
Not.
nobodies that do a podcast. So,
That's why we rely on guys like Baylen to spread the word of SNS.
I try, man.
but yeah, like I said, I mean, literally, once we get video, we'll be able to start putting clips out, actual YouTube videos.
Now, do you guys know how to do clips? The TikTok?
I do, yeah.
You do?
I can. I mean, you just put it into what I use to make our YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
now, and just instead of it being the whole 3 hours, you just cut portions out.
Yeah.
And maybe there will be some things that we pause the recording for just for TikTok or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I've always thought like you guys could do TikToks and you say you talk on a subject. Say you're talking, just as an example, like the Embiid and what's his face when he grabbed his leg.
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, say you
yeah,
guys
be
are
able to
talking
play
about-
that clip.
Yeah, just play
Yeah.
that clip and then you guys speaking over it as you guys are talking
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we have all the ideas, just have not yet executed any
Yeah, I
of them,
just
really.
went through a crash course on how to make thumbnails Friday. And then I also got some video editing software and some other stuff. So I'm going to try.
Nice.
And I moved it all to my desktop. So the original SNS computer is officially retired.
Oh, really? Wasn't
Yeah.
that Shane's?
No.
No, this is Shane's.
Oh, okay, the new
This
one.
is
is-
Shane.
Nice, nice. Yeah, dude, I believe in this podcast. That's why I'm surprised. Like, I think you guys will make money from this. You just keep going.
And again, for me, that's not even like the main goal. As long as we keep having fun doing it, like that's why we do it, really. Getting chances to tell stories like Sean and Morgan, something actually important. But yeah, if it ends up, catching on, making money, maybe
Your guys'
full-time
interviews
thing,
are badass, dude.
it's my favorite part because then we actually feel like journalists,
Yeah,
like we're actually doing something.
you're reporting, kind
Which growing
But
up,
we really don't because we never bring any notes. We always bring empty notepad. We never really follow the questions we write down.
yes and no. We're prepared.
We write down, but then we just close it and go completely off
That's
the
also
wall.
that's I think it's kind of a testament to us to be able to have a conversation and just flow through what they're saying instead of just relying on our notes and
That's the
this
biggest thing
strict
in an
thing.
interview is the flow of it.
Oh yeah,
Like those weird pauses and stuff, and it's like, huh, cool. Like that shit's weird. That
We ask-
doesn't really happen.
We ask a written down question that's completely off topic of what the guy just said.
And we're also very charismatic,
Would like
which
to think so.
means people open up more.
Yeah.
Also, just being on
Then you
mic,
get them drinking, then they really
dude,
open
people
up.
open up. I've had some of the best conversations of my life just because mics are on, not even recording.
Really?
Like when Keaton came in a few weeks ago. Like Cam wasn't here yet. I never met the guy. He comes up and we start talking about some deep relationship, like intense stuff. People just open up on the mic, man.
That's true. I believe it.
Which is why, I think we kind of got you to tell that Gatlinburg story in your mail stories.
Hey, I was going to
But
tell those
honestly,
anyways.
you kind of stuff those down. It's really deep trauma-related things that thankfully the mics kind of brought back out.
Well, therapy helped with that.
It
I went to
does.
a lot of therapy
It
for it,
does.
so I can speak openly about it
I
now.
get that.
So, yeah, you guys, this is badass. This is fun.
Give me your best baseball story from us back in the day. 'Cause we played probably, 9 years together overall?
Yeah, I mean, nothing will ever beat that championship with those
course.
cocksuckers. Hope they listen to this, you
For
cocksuckers.
lack of better terms.
Yeah.
No, that's the best term.
Man, they talk shit all year, and then the championship, we busted their ass. Most of them didn't shake hands after.
Is
so-
this when we played in Fairborn for the final game?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I caught the final out
sure did.
in a great game. And yeah, this is the
Routine pop fly.
can of corn.
Can of corn.
But it's just the emotion there as 16-year-old kids was.
That was the fucking World
untouchable.
Series. That was the World
It
Series.
really was
That
the
was
best.
super cool.
I really
Still
fucking
have the
miss
trophy?
playing. I don't think so.
I don't know. I
I
think
don't.
mine's at my dad's.
Is
I don't know. I don't know where mine's at.
Got to dust that bad boy off and display it.
I do
you
have.
need it in here, man.
I don't think I'll find that
That's
actually.
not
I
a
think I
bad
still
idea.
have it somewhere in like a tote.
I'm
or
sure your
something.
mom or dad has it.
They have
But
to.
I do have, like, our first couple years of playing, probably 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there, the league would write up, like, programs, like, recapping each week and recapping each game.
Dude, I
So
remember that.
There's pictures of us and, like, articles of us. Actually, I think the first championship, you weren't on that Yankees team, though, were you?
I was never on a Yankees team.
No. There's definitely Baylen Savage written down in some articles.
Man, I forgot about those. That's crazy. Isn't that badass? They used
really
to write
is.
little articles about us. That's pretty cool. They don't do that, no more.
And that was just for, like, rec league ball, dude.
Yeah.
They really went above and beyond.
Yeah, those two fields, you remember?
Oh, yeah,
The
at
Hebrew ones?
Kitty Hawk, right?
Yeah.
I used to golf there with my dad.
Different Kitty Hawk.
Definitely different Kitty Hawk. This is
You're
middle of
thinking-
Huber, like a residential
So
area.
it's just
school.
outside of Dayton, I think.
Isn't that right by the casino?
They shut it down. Yeah, they closed
that
it down
one?
to build the casino, I think.
Yeah, there was an elementary school called Kitty Hawk too, and these baseball fields were right by it, dude.
There was one small one
best.
for like the small games, and then the big one had like lights and
Oh,
real dugouts.
Yeah.
And like you're playing a night game,
Yeah.
you're getting pumped up.
And it was old school. When those lights came on, it was like, and you knew it was time to fucking play.
They used to play like walk-up songs too for certain games.
Wow. What was
Yeah.
yours?
We couldn't choose them.
No, it was some Disney shit, but it's
There
still
was
cool.
Nickelback one time. I do recall that.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got wild.
the kid hit 4 homers that game.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, probably that championship's the best. What about you?
Honestly, I feel like probably our last 2 seasons, when we had all, by that point, we're pretty much like grown men. We're 17, 18 years old. And I kind of took over like the vocal leader role. Doing like pregame speeches and getting guys pumped up and stuff. And that was a lot of, I really enjoyed that. Getting to be the the general of the locker room.
You don't earn the nickname
face of the
captain for no
team.
reason.
Yeah. Hitting cleanup. I think Bay hit leadoff or second.
Yeah.
Pitched a lot.
Quick guy like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
wheels
get
for
on
days,
base.
dude.
Just get on base. That's all
Tell you
I
what,
had to do.
dude, Balen's game face is second to none. This guy would get locked in and pissed off.
It looks like a pissed off Chihuahua, dude. You wouldn't want to mess with it.
We had a couple fights almost. Englewood for sure.
That one.
A couple almost fights.
Never a full brawl, unfortunately. Well, this one probably should have been, honestly.
No punches thrown.
Nah, never.
Nah, then they're not even worth talking about.
It's fun to reminisce on, though.
Dude, with the coach we had, if someone threw a punch, dude, you're going to hell. For
Yeah,
sure.
our coach was like the sweetest guy in the world.
I was just texting him the other day. Yeah, he was no cut. He was like, guys, don't cuss in front of my wife and daughter right here. And it would
Oh,
be
that's
so
reasonable.
hard. I mean, it is, but when you're like 13, you're like, fuck, I
Yeah, you
struck
strike out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fired up, you know?
Yeah, about to call this guy a cocksucker right now.
And you did. Many times.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, great times looking back.
Yeah, the best.
Segue perfectly into actual baseball talk. How fun are the Reds right now, dude?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's early. The Reds always do this. It's still April, but I mean, technically May now. But
But all the talent on this roster.
they need to just give LA 10 years, $700 million right now before the Dodgers do
Way
it.
cheaper than that. I think we can get 12 for like $350,
Really?
which is a super team-friendly deal.
You think he'd do 350?
I think he would. Still only his second season. Really hasn't totally exploded yet. I think we can get a pretty friendly contract.
I say do it now. Lock him up now because, like our buddy's been saying, it's only a matter of time until one of the premier franchises just come in and give him that contract he can't deny. And
Nah, I think being the face of the team now, face of the city, really, besides maybe Joe Burrow, like we're definitely going to lock this guy up long term.
And then the pieces around, like the players around him, ain't too shabby
Oh,
either.
no, super bright future. So
Man.
much young talent.
It's kind of looking like it's going to work out for the Reds. Like they always talked about these prospects they had in the farm league, and it was like you're trading all the best players. But now those prospects are older now and they're
We're here.
playing.
Yeah.
So it's exciting if they can just hold on to it. It seems like the Reds always start off well, and then it just hits the fan once the summer starts.
Tough series down in Texas. Lost 2 out of 3, but close games.
They're a good ball club.
We're still, 15-13, 500 club. And even if we don't make the playoffs this year, which I think we could definitely get a wild card spot,
Easily.
super excited for the upcoming next 2, 3, 4 years. Some big series with, I guess first of all, news-wise, Mike Trout, knee surgery, out for maybe the year.
Damn bummer.
Worst timing. After he's back to MVP form.
He was going to have another MVP year, which kind of sucks because I'm a Harper guy. But
Big time Harper guy.
it's just, best ability is availability. I can't preach that enough. So try.
He's been banged up here and there too, though.
Yeah, but was the season ending?
Not yet.
Well, hopefully he'll come back and then he'll be there for their 100th loss of the season.
Maybe 120th.
Yeah, they're dog
Not a
shit.
good ball club.
No, never have.
Which
that.
sucks, man, because I want to see him in the postseason.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we never got to see Votto besides 2 series.
And he did all right in them.
I want to see Mike Trout, literally the best player in the game of the past, 10 years, at least of my life, needs to be on the big-time stage.
The closest thing we got was in the, what's it called?
World Baseball Classic.
Yeah,
Which was,
against Shohei.
I
That
think,
was
still the
biggest
most viewed moment in, baseball history.
Probably.
In terms of YouTube and all the social media stuff.
Dude, it was so huge. He came out before the game with the flag, and then he comes down to him against the best player in the
Then
world.
he loses the
His
game.
teammate.
He strikes out.
That's baseball.
If he would have hit a dinger, dude, the United States would have exploded.
Baseball's still in the Olympics, right? Is it?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
That's got balance because it's definitely this
That's
summer.
probably why they do the World Baseball Classic, though, is because it's not in the Olympics anymore.
And
I
that
think
needs to come back.
basketball took baseball's spot.
That's actually, yeah, I think you're right.
Our team definitely wins, right?
We assembled the Avengers.
Yeah, all the talent on that squad. Come on.
Yeah,
We after not getting gold last year, we assembled the Avengers.
that's what they had to do. If they didn't do that, they were going to get silver again.
But I do know there's been a lot of issues with Joel Embiid wanting to play for France, but France not wanting him to play for them or something like that.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because of is Wemby on the French team?
I would assume
I
so.
mean, I would imagine.
Yeah.
France, I mean.
But I don't know why. I think there was something about his citizenship or something like that. I don't know. It happened a couple years ago. It was after the last one, and now they're like, yeah, we don't really want to.
They see how big of a bitch he is. On
I
the, in the
don't blame him.
playoffs.
I don't blame him. They see his eyes
Painkiller,
twitching.
dude.
They don't want that shit.
But a couple big series here over this past week. The Guardians and the Braves in Atlanta, back-to-back extra inning games. Great finishes there. Guardians making a sneaky push, best record in the AL, through just incredible pitching, really. Braves, of course, are the Braves.
Yep.
Should be on the World Series path for the next 10 years, which I hope we adopt to like they didn't pay their young guys early.
Yeah.
Jays, Dodgers, you guys got lit the fuck up. Like 15 runs and 10
I've
the next
erased
day.
it from my memory already. On to the next series.
Move forward, right? Alek Manoah looking to come back up anytime here soon. Who? What is that?
Next question. Next question. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Bay, do you agree that Vlad Jr. kind of just had one flash in the pan season and he's actually not that great?
I think the money and the hype got to his head. I mean, you have a dad like that, and then you come in your rookie year and you do what he did. Your head's going to get a little big.
Has it been the same since?
No, and I don't know if it ever will be.
Great defensive player.
I mean, he's
just
no
here so I
Bichette.
don't get fined.
I mean, he's a professional baseball player. I'd hope he'd play defense.
Great
It's about what you do at the plate.
Defensive player.
Especially the
I'm just here
easiest
so I don't get
position to
fined.
play on the field.
I think we ain't done yet.
I mean, if I can play first base, surely Vlad Jr. can.
Great defense.
Question, comment, concern?
I think Vlad has great defense.
How about
Just like his dad. Great defense.
Great arm, for sure. Bay,
what?
do you have something you want to pull up there?
Well, Cavs pulled off 104 to 103.
Up 3-2 now?
Yep. In Cleveland the next game.
Yeah, please lock that up quickly. Upcoming Redlegs host the Orioles, who I fucking love. Some of the best, honestly, the AL version of us, but just more advanced. All the young talent.
That's a good way to put it.
Gunnar and Adley, now Colton Cowser. Solid pitching staff. Should be a good turnout there, hopefully, the next 3 games here in Cincinnati. And that's pretty much all I got for baseball. UFC, there is a pay-per-view on Saturday.
Oh, I forgot 301.
Yeah.
I'll be watching Backlash anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, headliner Pantoja versus Steve Urkeg, who is
that'll
the
probably be a good fight, but
10th ranked
it'll probably be a good fight.
flyweight. That's pretty much about it. I guess after 300 and as good as 302 and 303 look, we had to have one kind of downer. Jose Aldo fighting again in Brazil. Hopefully his last
I
fight.
thought he retired already.
He did. Came back. Anthony Smith on the card. Michael Pereira. Paul Craig.
It's a good fight night.
It's a good fight night for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay $85 for it. Even though, of course, we do pay for every single
And
pay-per-view.
we have to. We are going to be paying $85 for that.
As always.
As you should.
And you know what? We're going to be shocked at the quality of it. It's going to be a good card. It happens every time.
It always ends that way. Yeah, even though there's not like big
But
names.
yes, we are going to pay the full $85
Each of us.
each. Yeah.
Each
we have to do
TV.
a full support.
Because we respect the sport.
And that's on top of our ESPN Plus subscriptions.
Of course.
We don't even pay. We don't even use the discount.
Absolutely.
We play full price.
Dana, I mean, come on. What else do you want us to do? Come on the show, dude. Only a matter of time, right?
It's only right.
Just don't pull up the receipts.
Why did the Piera fight get canceled?
The other dude dropped out.
Oh.
But he's fighting Ihor Potiria stepped in. A Ukrainian who I don't know. UFC was actually one of the first things that kind of got us back in this little friend group thing. It was Connor Cowboy
Watching. Oh, yeah, Chase's.
at Chase's, which we
Giving
got
him-
kicked out of.
Well, yeah, it's because.
Yeah,
Never mind.
well, you know.
She's giving, or he was giving him the shoulder. That shit was crazy. Was it like 40 seconds?
Very
Connor's
quick.
return.
Yeah. And now Connor coming back, hopefully, in 303. Until he gets in the ring, I still don't believe it.
The octagon.
Ring, octagon, cage, same thing.
Big difference.
Eh.
One's a square. One's an octagon.
It checks out mathematically, yeah.
There's approximately a 4-side difference.
But after Roadhouse, I don't know if Connor still got it.
I don't know.
He did get his ass beat in Roadhouse.
How much is he weighing? Was he like?
They're fighting at what,
Fucking-
175?
He's at 190 easily.
I think they're fighting at 175.
170
175?
for catch weight, yeah. I don't know if he makes it though.
Hey, Roadhouse was a good movie. I thought he did pretty well in it.
Still
I
haven't
didn't
watched
watch
it
it.
yet.
Hell, guys.
I've honestly heard nothing but surprisingly good things.
You guys got Prime? It's on Prime.
I got Prime.
I do.
Yeah.
I do have Prime.
It's pretty good. I mean,
I just finished the Fallout show, so
a lot of good fight scenes as you would expect.
From-
Connor's not bad in it. I mean,
movie about fighting.
plays a pretty good crazy person, believe it or not.
Like just playing Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is everybody?
Who the fuck is this guy? Let's wrap up shop here with a stick pick. I think Baylen, given that you're here, man,
Sure.
reach into the old bucket here, pull out a band, see what we get. And it is the Blackbird Jackdaw. Nice to have Blackbird on the
Pretty
show
convenient.
after the event this week,
Yeah.
of course. Still think they're definitely one of the brands that's really going to take off here over the next year or two, hopefully. And Baylen, give us your Ash for Cash for the week, which I think is a kind of a rock solid bet.
I mean, some people might think it's a stretch. Take the T-Wolves in 6 over the Nuggets. It will happen. The odds are crazy. Throw $10 on it, win a couple hundred. Why not?
Of course, not actual financial advice, but Baylen is the best sports bettor that I know.
Bet responsibly. Bet with money you can lose.
Be safe. Bums of the week, Joel Embiid. For just being a general piece of shit, and again, the dirtiest player in basketball, counting Draymond Green. Bradley Beal. Pull up his last game stat line. I think he had 8 points on 15 shots. 6 turnovers, fouled out. Absolute waste for Phoenix.
100%.
Trash.
Was honestly trash in Washington too, but nobody wants to talk about it.
We will next week on next overrated Wednesday. Definitely got to be Bradley Beal. And then last but not least, shout out TB. The Predators had a 3-1 lead with 3 minutes to go. Gave up 2 goals to force overtime and lost a minute into OT against the, who were they playing? Vancouver, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the Canucks. Brutal loss, but God, playoff hockey is so much fun. My Oilers took a 3-1 lead last night, and I think play tomorrow. And I believe that will do it. Cam, anything else here you want to mention here? Wrap up shop, Baylen?
I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing. Thanks for having me on.
Cam, what do we always
appreciate
say?
it.
You know what we always say. S&S.
To the moon!